as I begin recording. So, a week and a day has passed, spent within the blighted lands of the Morbog. Last session, we began at camp discussing with Aisling Applecobble, the old halfling druid you recently picked up, about her reasons for being here in such a dangerous place. Turns out she had a personal quest and a large seed given to her by a dryad called Drayla to regrow what she called a spirit tree. More specifically, the grove of this dryad's sister, Ava. After said discussion, the topic moved on to the sudden recent alliance with a banshee encountered the session before last. Arngrim had lots of reservations. There was discussions about idealism and naivety and just wanting to do the right thing for this lost spirit. It was then that the banshee revealed herself to no longer be the form of the twisted woman, but a young woman with leaves in her hair and a void in her chest. Vellum invited her to talk within his wagon, to the surprise of the rest of the party. It was revealed during this talk that she didn't know her name nor her cause of death, but only that she died not far from here. However, she remembered when the Morbog was green and full of life, implying that she'd been dead for far longer than the Morbog's been around. She also warned you of the trees, for even they have seemingly turned. The next day, as you continued your journey through the dense dead forest, you found a larger circular dead grove of 5 trees, 5 standing stones, and the massive fallen tree in the centre, with a glowing bulb encased in roots. Presumably, this was the grove Aisling spoke of. Upon the stones, it was discovered that someone had sundered the incantation protecting this grove and written their own. Through your combined strength, you bolstered Dejar's Dispel magic spell and shattered the cursed ward, causing the grove to react in a hostile manner. The former guardians of the grove awakened as the 5 massive black trees stirred and moved. Undead trees who attempted to assail the hammer strike. With each fallen tree, the roots around the central bulb withered. As Vellum briefly fell unconscious during the fight, Grunker and Liska tore away at the last roots and freed the bulb, which blossomed open, and within was a dryad's heart. You made the connection that the spectral woman, the banshee, with the void in her chest, you brought it to her, and she and the heart were reunited. She transformed into Ava, the dryad, and this was her grove. Oh, hang on, let me just switch over to the scene briefly. Yes, here we go. So this was her grove. Aisling, with her journey complete, helped Liska place the seed within the stump in the place of the heart. Though as life begins anew, so does life come to an end. A good life long lived. Ava helped bring Aisling to recount her fondest memories. She recalled the family of foxes she once rescued, who now live in her grove at home to this day. She took one final breath and fell asleep for the last time. With a tearful and thankful farewell to you all, Ava buried Aisling to the next life, and a new nascent spirit tree grew in her place, bringing new life to this once dead grove, and hope that perhaps one day this tree will spark renewal across these lands. Perhaps someday the Morbog will become green once more. Velen took from this new tree seed that sprouted forth from its branches. And that is where we left off. So, with that event that's just taken place, there is a swelling of emotions within all of you. As you will gain a powerful resolve effect until the end of your next long rest.
Oh god, I was so zoomed in, my eyes were full of sparkles.
Hammer Strike, what would you like to do?
What time of day is it? Is it time to sleep?
It's getting towards the late evening at this point. You've been travelling for most of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably a good idea to camp here anyway, because this is probably the closest
The safest place.
Yeah, the closest we'll have to relative safety anytime soon. Velen's just gonna sort of, like, after he's carefully, like, put whatever he plucked off the tree into a box and then into his bag. Right, I don't know about the rest of you, but I think this is a good place for us to set up and have a rest. Probably gonna need it after that, some more than others, and yeah.
Yes, I think it's...
I'll do something.
Yeah, go.
I'll make sure you're all hopped into Simon's Scoop as well, just in case.
I am this time.
Yes, but hey. Just clear that chat log. Alright, says Ogrim. I'll go and grab the steam hammer. He kind of makes his way off.
While he does his steam hammering and tent magic, I'm gonna ignore the skeletons about, cause so I just noticed that the skeletons are even more visible now. Everything is turned green.
Yeah,
it's kind of a funny contrast.
You can see now that the grove sort of blossomed into this green verdant expanse here. You can see moss has also grown over the bones and the skulls, and you can see this gradual sort of decomposition happening.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go off the rest of it.
He's going to take a play out of her component pouch and start doing a rough shape of a halfling on the stone. With stone shape.
Okay. And
A pretty artist.
taking shape in Dejar's hands, you can gradually see what looks like a striking resemblance of an ashling.
Oh, some of the team. And also, hilariously, like whenever there's a line of sight block, everything in the shadow looks like more mog. Because it just faded colors.
Right. Seeing Dejar do like that thing Niska is going to do, she's going to go up to Arngrim and be like, can I borrow your tool, like your wood, fucking stoneworking? Like, tools or kit?
Aye, sure.
Right. And we'll be right back. And Liska's going to take them and go up here to this first. Oh, geez. Okay. I'm sure, Jenner. I'll confirm.
Did you suddenly ask for a wisdom save or something?
No. He gave me Argrim's like toolkit.
Oh, like
it's like like an item trade. I was like, oh, geez, this was just supposed to be narrative. But now, someone remind me to give that back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's going to like come up, and on this side, it had the writing, like the poem that and spell that kept this place like protected. And so Liska on the other side is she's going to take the little chisel like between thumb and forefinger. She's going to get the hammer, and she's going to like very crude kind of primal cave drawing kind of thing. She's going to put in I guess demonic, because that's her native tongue. Under the protection of Boar, and she's going to carve in Boar. Does Boar have a symbol, or is it just like a bear?
Boar has it definitely has a primary symbol that worshippers use. It's a large mama bear guarding 3 cubs.
Okay. All right, then yeah, Liska has that amulet. She's just gonna carve in whatever symbol her amulet has underneath it.
Yep.
So, yeah. And so once she's done, it'll probably take her a while because she doesn't do this. But when she's done, she's gonna kind of take a step back and give a nod. Okay. This is good.
And while you're not experienced with Mason's tools by any means, it's fairly decent. I'm not going to make you roll for it, and you generally feel pleased with yourself.
Awesome. And now to find those tools you gave me and give them back to our crew.
the nitty gritty.
It's alright, there we go.
That's alright. It just took me by surprise. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah. If it's something important, I'll can I borrow this? No. Well, Val's gonna just start taking his armor off because shit dented yo.
He got fucked.
Right,
just horizontal rocks.
What's the food?
Yeah, great.
Sure.
It's alright, Severe, you can come out now. And you see a trepidatious Severe kind of slowly stepping into the ground. Like, what the fuck?
Now just sort of turns, looks over her shoulder to him, and just gestures to the tree that is currently, sprouting. Well, I guess this proves a point.
By Lunar's wings, what happened here? Never seen this in my life.
Oh, just adventurer shit.
I will trust you, mate. I will have to tell the order about this. It's incredible.
Severe, do you happen to know of a witch in the Morbog?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. Well, good to know.
I wouldn't put it past the witch to hide here. This looks beyond the grove back into the absolutely dreadful wasteland.
It is like night and day.
There's plenty of space to hide. Not like,
There.
Oh, sorry.
Back into Suppose now that you mention it, there was from what I heard from Okuru reports, there was some strange goings on in the blighted swamp. Quite a number of days west from here. Out some sort of hut. Not sure. Personally, I don't read too much into the reports myself. That it's not my job.
Okay. Well, it was a witch that kind of cursed this place to begin with, so we thought, oh, maybe if, we kill her, she won't try to do it again with this tree.
I would say that is a good idea.
though that begs a question. If a witch cursed this grove, and the grove was cursed long before the Morbar was the Morbar, how old would this witch be?
Judging from historical standpoints, probably many hundreds of years old.
Very old.
Very old.
Sao just looks to Liska with a sort of slight grin or smirk, and then just like, finally somebody older than you.
Is this true?
There is still a lot we do not know about the Morbog.
Well, hopefully, when all is said and done, it will just be less bog.
See what you did there? I like it. You're funny, I like it.
Thank you. I do what I can. This has me curious. And she kind of motions to the tree and the grass. Like, 1 second. And Liska is going to kind of start walking this direction. And she's going to look out into the water. And on the outside of the water, like, is this magic that's turning the grass green and the trees coming to life, has it purified the standing water around?
It has. You can see crystal clear water, and you can see where once were sort of these remnants of bodies sort of preserved beneath the surface is now just nothing but bleach white bone, as if eons of decay has just naturally turned it to sterile bone.
Yeah, Liska's gonna be like, she's going to kind of kneel down, cup her hand, and take a sip just to kind of test it. And when it's, purified water, she's gonna be like, ah! And then she's gonna pull out her water skins and refill because, they've been here for a week.
Oh yeah. It's you tip out the stagnant water that's kind of congealed it in your water skin for this past week and a bit, and for the first time in many days, the taste of fresh water meets your lips, and it is a delight. It is a relief.
Yeah, Liska's going to fill up like a few of her water skins and then head on back. Just be like, hey everybody, now is the time to refill your water if you need to. It's fresh like spring water now.
Oh,
What?
nice.
and kind of severe rushes over.
Oh, ooh.
You can tell Severe is completely dumbfounded and stunned by this whole experience. Seeing green in the Morbog is unheard of.
Sao just sort of looks to his expression of, you know, what the fuckery, and then just, you know, maybe there is a chance after all.
One can hope. One can certainly hope. It is almost
Could you
like
imagine if the entire Morbog went this way?
one can dream. In fact, this in and of itself, and kind of gestures to the gravel art before him. I feel like this is a dream, and it's not really happening. He kind of pinches himself.
I mean,
But it's happening. So we
Silence.
pan over.
Sorry, I didn't know if there was more or not.
No. We pan over to Dejan's, and what are you both talking about?
Ah, well, Velm's asking for help getting a fucking bit of metal out of the ribs.
Right.
Always fun.
Shit. He looks at it, it's like, right.
I mean, I can get. Looks a think that should stay it.
No, it shouldn't. He's going to use telekinesis and try and gingerly move the metal, because she's like,
This can go very well and very poorly. There is no middle ground.
Yeah, she's like, just hold on for a second and just one smooth motion.
And a surge of pain rips through your side.
There's just like a very sizable growth villain, but like not like the yelp you'd expect from somebody who's probably in a bit worse state. Right, that hurt. But hey, it's out now, and right, that is bleeding. Grugs, can I get your help here over a second?
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Just need some patching up here.
Hey, January, just a question. When was the last time I healed them? Have there been like a day before them since then?
I
think so.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think the last time was at the assassin.
Yeah, we had a
Map.
Yeah, we had a night and then like the next day later in the day.
Okay. I can use my healing ability.
I'm being targeted for healing.
Imagine Grunka, like, nope. It's like, hasn't been a day. Sorry, say it. It's like, wait, what?
I need to grow bandages.
Yeah, no worries. There you go.
Thanks.
Bandages don't grow on trees, you know.
Nope, I figured
Spider
that out.
silk bandages or anything.
The Yara is going to forcibly
Right.
give Vellum a potion of healing. Take this.
Just shove it
No.
down his gullet.
I mean, I got bandages already. I'm fine for the moment. I'm
No, you take it?
sleeping on.
I'm fine with
Basically.
Look, I have some in my bag. It's fine. I'll be all right. It's
More,
just some
just-
bruises and maybe something cracked, but a bit of rest will do what. If it's
Guys,
bad
just-
enough, maybe I'll ask Arn Griffith to be, but I'm not gonna waste potions.
Just gives a deadpan look. Really? Seriously? We're in a grove to where I could probably find something to remake some. Really? Welcome.
You're gonna be stubborn about this, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm glad you noticed.
All right. I'll drink the bloody potion. Feels like a waste though.
everything.
He's just been completely composed and calmed throughout.
Yeah.
You know, he caught the hint at that.
Give me potion.
Gibbs.
Hold up. Ibs.
Transfer the potion to my hand.
In the words of Gronka, yep.
Yeah.
No,
No.
I'm Cindy. No, I'm Cindy.
There he is.
1, 2.
Atlas, you're
Your
really,
boy.
really low.
Very quiet.
And low. Any better?
Yep.
Better.
No.
Okay.
You are just in time. We've just started.
Sorry. Should have been there earlier. A thing happened. I didn't get to fall asleep till like fucking 6 in the morning. Just done. Sorry. I had an alarm set. Alarm was set for PM. I went to school.
Did you get this? Thing, Saber?
Oh, confirm.
There you go. Let's see. Did you also want to identify that that weird?
That was gonna be next on Velen's.
Okay.
Dealing with healing, the first on the agenda.
All right.
Friend was gonna begrudgingly drink the potion, even though fucking
No, it's not needed.
yeah. Look, stubborn Snick will just ride him constantly about it. More annoying than just drinking. I will equip the potion of healing. How do I use?
Oh, you just target yourself and just drink it. Just use it.
Use potion of healing.
I set it to target like other creatures in case you wanna give it to someone else as an action.
A whopping 70.
He's dead left.
True. Alright, that's that sorted. I should be fine. Fucking work on this armor. He's gonna sort of give a bit of a grunt as he stands up. Where'd Sal go?
His point over there.
Oh, right, can't see through all this foliage. So, I need you to look at some of it. He's done just walled up like fucking bruises and welts and bandages on him. Completely casual.
One, I am not looking over your entire body for bruises. Two, what is it?
Well, I didn't expect you to, but hang about. There's this thing off of the tree, probably magic because then he just looks around at the fucking verdant green that's sprouted up out of nowhere. Let's see. Why did I put this in the box when I knew I was going to give it to you?
Meanwhile, Sarah is just given an absolute expression of, in response to it might be magical, and then just no, really. Like her entire expression is just
No shit. Trying to find where I put it in my inventory. Now, just a
It
second.
should be in your sunburst lockbox.
Yeah, I took it out. There it is. Okay. Unidentified item. Oh. There it is. It opens the box. Very delicately take the chunking seed out. Hands it over.
Should be in your consumables. Italian.
I have 24 consumables. Give me a hot moment.
Take your time on that. We're probably going to be resting here tonight anyway, so yeah, just get back to us when you know.
Alright. Can I
Cheers,
immediately see what the item is?
It looks like a large kind of coconut-sized seed.
For a moment, there's a visible expression in her eyes when she's looking at this coconut-sized seed and then looking back to Bellum, then back to the seed. Like she looks like she's about to say something, and then just, I'll get it checked out.
And I know you're not gonna, but maybe save your excitement and not craft it into something before we know what it is.
Sao just looks at him like, what would I make out of a seed?
Well,
Unless
I mean,
it can
you've made.
explode, then maybe I will just, identify what the fuck it is.
Look, I've seen the sort of shit you could make out of the regular cracks, so wouldn't put it past you. You done some miracle shit before.
Holding up a finger, Sao just, you know what, fair.
I mean, it's all magic development. We don't fucking know the difference. Yeah. Right. Walk this off a bit. Right. Before I go diving into another conversation, did anyone else want to do anything? I'll take that as a no and continue on my merry way.
Alright.
I'm going to identify which I'm going to ritual cast because 10 minutes during a rest is, decent time to do this.
Alright, this is a spirit tree seed. That should be now identified for you in your consumables.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're not seeing the effect I'm seeing.
Oh, I saw the full effect last session. Because Jenna forgot to turn on the unidentified module. So I know exactly what you're reading. And yes, oh.
That is... That is something.
It sure is. It suddenly feels a lot heavier, doesn't it?
Everyone goes up to your little group. Handful of peanuts in one palm as he cracks them open, shooting them. Alright. What you got there?
Sao just sort of holds the seed with both hands like it's a fragile egg, but you can see that she's very sure it won't break if she drops it. It's just like, okay, don't freak out. But as she points with both hands in a gesturing manner towards the tree, that is this.
Well, that's a tree and that's a seed. I know that they... Oh, right, no, I get what you're getting at. That's gonna grow one of them.
Yes.
Shit.
I'm not
Now
sure
it's
why I'm
useful.
holding it. Yes, I'm Grim, but that thing is more or less connected to the spirit realm. This will grow one, whatever we plant it. I'm literally holding an anchor.
So we gotta be real choosy about where the hell we put this. So well, that's what I'm hearing.
Why not more in the boat? Easy enough, kind of clean.
Yes, but this is where Sao sort of holds up her hand and starts, counting out with fingers to, signify. 1. The tree will rapidly grow from this into sort of gestures over trees nearby. Something of that size within a couple of seconds. After maybe a few days, it will start to become inanimate and settle. And then after about 3 or so, maybe less decades, it'll turn into that, gesturing to the tree. That is what I've gathered so far.
Right, so wherever we do put it, it has to be safe enough for it to be able to have its time. We can't just slap it in the morbog somewhere or like... wherever. Alright, well, back in the box.
Yeah, Sao will hand it back.
I was just gonna open the box, like, very carefully. Back in the bag.
Yeah. Keep it safe, keep it secret.
Yeah.
Now, Vellum, I do mean this dearly, but safe. Don't lose it.
Oh, it is staying in the box.
Well, until it planted, yes.
Staying in the box, staying in the bag.
Okay. I think I've had enough spirit for a bit.
Oh, you're going to be sorely disappointed then. Just looking around again. We are staying here for like a while, or maybe even like a night.
I know, but like, I'm not about to venture into more spirit realm stuff.
True.
It's a bit out of my league of territory.
What do you mean? Huh?
I'm a tinkerer. I like things when they're physical.
Well, I know that, but I mean, going to spirit realm stuff. What do you mean by that?
Sao just looks from the snake to the giant tree and then back.
Are you saying it's like one of them pockets or something?
I'm not about to identify any more related to, you know, does the slight Will Smith pose with both arms to, you know, everything around.
No, he got that immediately. Like, oh, interesting.
Right, get comfortable, everyone. Algrim, think you can get some food going?
Sure.
But I'm gonna want to have a chat with you later at some point about some other
Taste to
stuff.
see if they have fresh herbs to harvest.
I mean, you're gonna find them anywhere, Bog, over here.
Good enough for me.
But yeah, I will want to pick your brain a bit later on, if that's alright.
Argon kind of points to himself. What? You mean me?
Yeah.
I'm
Right,
gonna check
sure,
on
well, have you
Bastion.
know, I'm not necessarily a scholar. If it ain't a dwarf, I don't know much about it.
Well, you know what you know, and I need to know you know. And he sort of like, as the sentence is coming out of his mouth, he's sort of losing his own track of the sentence. Anyways, yeah, I'll check in with you later.
Hey. Okie doke. And at some point I should probably have a talk with you too. As he sticks a finger out towards Dejar.
Oh, right.
Right, well that's fun. I'm off for a walk.
I enjoy your walk.
Oh boy.
That's not an boy thing, don't you go off shiting your... Can't even shite your pants. But don't go off and making a fuss about it. It's not outstanding, but it's a mark of curiosity.
Okay.
I mean, it's about you and what you did and may do. You want to talk about it here, or would you like to talk about it in the tent?
It's feeling better talking about it in the tent, to be honest with you.
Okay, I do need to start some food. I'm really gonna look around real quick. What does everyone want for dinner? This is a little side break, this kind of thing. We just had a moment of talking before I pulled Dejar aside and ask her about what she did. Does anyone want to do anything before we go into more isolated conversations?
I'm fine. Wait until after we all talk to do Bellin list and stuff.
I'm good. So
Let's get Bo. Does Gabo want to do anything?
No, not really. Lucas just kind of walking around and looking at all this magical Greenland shit.
Question, just on that note, did the clouds part here?
The clouds.
It's not that constant overhead.
The clouds have parted. Yes, there is a shaft of sunlight. It's thin, but it's there, sort of beaming down upon the tree.
I take credit on that.
Indeed.
Brad, okay. Just want to make sure nobody's being excluded. Cool. I'm going to, if that's the case. Right, come along then. Time for dinner. As he pulls her in. And pops a squat in his chair by his little rucksack. Right, so saw you do some magic. It's pretty reckless of you, you know. You got to be careful, I think. It's a very useful spell to have, but it can be very dangerous, as you can see. I'm just a wee bit concerned, because we don't necessarily know how invoking darker magics, specifically those of dealing necrotic types of energy, might manifest a little different in the dog. You know what I mean? Oh hey, the Grove even has a cat.
I understand. Get your point. I acted more out of concern than anything else. At the moment, I didn't really think.
Oh, that's the best way to act, I think. You know, it's a lot easier to act when we're upset, and sometimes we don't necessarily make the best choices. I don't know if that's a wrong choice to make, you know, but I just want to say you should likely be a bit careful, seeing as, well, I don't know the full extent, but there's definitely something weird with the bog and some creatures doing more undeathly type powerful magics, things like that. And I was worried, would it work? You know? What if something backfired and just the nature of this place made you take twice as much they're stinging? You know, it's worth being mindful of that. I ain't upset. Thank you for looking after, well, as he just kind of peers out the slit of the tent over towards Bellum. Bellard, hearty idiot. I'm not upset about that, but I know what that spell is. You're doing a few other interesting things, and I'm not here to be a stickler about law and enforcing things. We're outside of Mayland, and to be honest, there's a little bit of leeway in everything, in my opinion. But, you're doing some things that involve interesting and old styles of witchcraft. I'm not necessarily asking for proof or anything like that, but would you happen to be sanctioned? Because you have that very much aroma to you.
He holds up her left hand, and there's a ring, the black stone on it. Yes? The yard is a special place, but yeah, he is sanctioned. Straight tongue is so hard. He is sanctioned.
Okay. That's a relief. So, that does sort of go into question, you know, what do you necessarily do with that kind of magic? Because I've seen some stuff of blood, and it's a very specific kind. And I'm sort of curious, you know, what if we elaborate a little bit so I know what you're actually capable of? And, you know, to an extent, should I expect anyone to ever pop back up, or you know, something like that?
Well, with some of the spell books that I found, I will put them in my spell book. They're really good spells. However, I imposed a penance on myself whenever using these spells, especially the one I just did for, like you say, our tough idiot. The one rule I have is basically making sure that it is life or death. There is no other way. Tomorrow we're busy, so I took the liberty to take it in my own life force and bolster his. Granted, it hurt, but hold out her arm.
He looks at her arm.
There's written in a searing tattoo-like fashion in a swirl. These are the tenets I have. That's the reminder not to fall past that abyss. I'm well aware of what can happen. I have a clan sister who told me not to go far off in the deep end, so...
Alright. Well, thank you for being honest with me. I was just a little bit, you know, concerned seeing that. I don't mind necessarily the school you used, but I'm concerned about its application and what with the rest of you, as he gestures up and down and wiggles his fingers in some sort of magical looking mockery. I just didn't know. I wanted to be sure. You know, especially in this place where it might trigger who knows what. Also, do me a favor. I have a few magic healing spells, and I have my... You don't even know about my harp, do you?
Harp? What?
I have a little bit of a magic healing harp as well. So, we might not need to, you know, half kill yourself when I can help scrape somebody up, but thank you for looking out for him. Just, I don't want to have to pick up two bodies, you know? As he kind of sits back down, a bowl of food ready and presented on the table. Now, I feel quite more comfortable. The stew's pretty much done here. do we want to go get the others, or is there anything else you feel needs to be said?
Black spice?
Arngrim dishes a bowl of stew for himself, sort of waiting for her response.
You okay there, Spice? Are you hearing anyone?
I think he disconnected. That or something happened.
Might be a disconnect because he's been like cutting out periodically. Well, people have been cutting out periodically with him.
Well, Arngrim sets a plate, or a little bowl of stew in front of Dajar, content with that conversation, and we'll wander out and look upon what looks to be Liska and, to the distance, Vellum. Hey, Avon. What do I see as Liska's, look, I believe, laying back by the tree?
Well, if you're in the tent, you don't see her because she's hidden by the tree. But if you move around,
out, silly.
I mean, she's just sitting there, like has her back against the tree, just kind of resting her head, like one leg up, like one leg pulled back, hand resting on her knee, just kind of chilling, just doing her thing. She is out of her armor, if that's what you're asking.
Not necessarily. More of you sort of setting the stage of where you're at.
Yeah, she's just, you know, in those animes where there's always that shot where the characters are leaning against a tree on a random hill, and they're all just kind of looking out into the distance. That's what Liska's doing when her eyes are closed. She's just kind of taking in the ambiance.
Very good. Then, there, Arngrim will wait on ringing the dinner bell for a minute, and let everyone kind of enjoy this moment.
Good old Serenity.
You want to switch over to your thing?
If nobody else
Looks
has
like a good segue
anything,
into it.
yeah, it's a good segue. Cool. Sort of taking a moment to stretch his legs from his rough and tumble moment. Does Liska seem like she's awake? Because you said her eyes were closed and she was basically resting.
I don't know. Like she seems like she's breathing normally. Her breathing hasn't slowed. Like
Good.
you can
her breathing
probably,
is important.
yeah, you can probably just go up and check. She hasn't been there that long.
Okay. Well, with no obvious signs of it, Vel's gonna move up and throw. You got a sec, Liska? I want to have a chat with you about something that's bothering me.
Her eyes just open and she looks up. She's like, "Yeah, what do you want to talk about?"
He says, "Copper squat on one of the roots. Nope, a little close there, but fuck it, whatever."
You can hold shift if you want to not be on the grid.
There we go. Sorry, I like visual presentation.
You're good.
So, I know, obviously you got your whole military background. You as, I know you trained soldiers and all that. Like, something's been bothering me about how we've been going so far in some of the fights we've been in. And I don't know whether it's just me not knowing enough or if it's something general. But I got to ask first. In terms of like battlefield tactics and all that, like, what sort of experience have you got with that? Because I never really asked too much about your background that much. Really, should have, but
I mean, I have the full training and regimen of the Domain of Torment, the Steel Legion. I've been in combat. I've been in war. I've led troops into battle. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you curious about?
Well, I'm starting to notice things. Is the best way I can put it. Like,
Well, that's good.
well, it's not like I'm getting more experience, which I am, but that isn't what's worrying. Like, okay, you ever look at how Summit's gone and just right away popped in your head how things can be better?
Yeah.
That sort of thing's normal then, right?
You mean like,
Like, I feel like in that last fight we could have done things better from the offset, and I was so focused on, you know, staying alive and fighting that I didn't really pick up on it. I just pushed it out of my head, but I can't say we're alive, yeah, but I can't say I'm happy with how that last fight went, and
you
without
mean the fact that you almost died?
Well, not just that, but you probably noticed this more than I, but it feels like everything was a bit mess. We're kind of all over the place as we got here, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just not seeing it with the experienced eye that you might, but it feels like could have done different.
Well, the thing is that, yes, I have noticed that it's a bit more unorganized, disorganized. I forget what the word is in common. But
Trade Tongue's a mess.
yeah, so the biggest issue that we face in this place is the fact that most, if all, other environments, you know, this grove notwithstanding, acts against the uniformity that we usually have in combat. We're usually surrounded by fog that we can barely see. You have to drive your carts, and we have the steam hammer driving ahead. You can barely see the steam hammer in front of you when the fog is thick. And just a lot of times, whenever, at least in particular these last few combats we have been in, combat has happened while we were not set up for it. We didn't go in thinking that it was going to occur. So, given everything that we have, that we know what we're trying to do, we're probably going to have very similar combats in the future, at least until we get out of the Morbog.
Well, that all makes sense. Sorry, I just lost in my own head for a second. It's in the nicest way possible. A lot of what you're saying has reminded me of the old lectures I used to get when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really go into it too much, but a lot of my youth was military, as I think I mentioned, but it wasn't just the usual soldier lark. It was pretty high-end talks. I phased most of it out because I was sick of hearing it, but some of it still sticks. Because I remember Gramps is he's a Salif boy, but he sort of like snaps his fingers trying to find the proper trade tongue word for it. General. He's a general, and because he doesn't see much active duty as he used to, a lot of his time was spent driving that sort of thing into my head. So I don't know, maybe some of it's sticking and seeing things a bit different than I thought I did. Is that do your head ever get muddled when you're fighting, like keeping all that straight along with keeping alive?
No. but that probably is just me. I know there are certain people who are not. No, that is a bit mean. There are certain people who in combat are capable. There are certain individuals in combat who are better suited at being told what to do than being the ones to tell it. And sometimes, and it's something that you can definitely learn. I mean, I did start out being a centurion in the Steel Legion, but my brother and I had a knack for it. We rose up the ranks relatively quickly, but yeah, like you can't have an army of generals. Let's just say that, right?
Yeah.
You have individuals that are good at taking us, like surveying the fields, figuring out what we need to do, and then making sure that it is done. They command the troops, they move them into position, and that is how you win a war. But
Yeah, that,
like the fact that you are noticing these things, that it's starting to grow on you, and you're kind of coming to this realization, is a good sign. It means that you are maturing as, I wouldn't say soldier, but a fighter.
well, that's nice of you to say, obviously. But the strange thing is, it's less that I'm getting used to or coming into this way of thinking. It's more that ever since we were at the Morbog and things got a lot more high stakes, is that sort of voice that's getting in my head whenever the fighting starts. It's getting harder to ignore. Like before, I'd push out and focus on surviving and staying alive. And
But when you say voice, you don't mean like an actual
No,
voice.
not an
You're
actual
saying
voice,
metaphorically? Okay.
yeah,
You-
no, if
I
there were
have to, you
actual
know-
voices in my head, I'd probably say so.
Well, I mean, you have to make sure in this place, so
Yeah,
just double checking.
exactly. I'm hearing voices then, it'll be the first one to know. No, it's like I was pushing it out at first, focusing on what I needed to do, but now it's getting louder than my survival instincts. And I'm kind of wondering what to do about that.
Well, if it's, I'll tell you this, though, I don't think it is getting louder than your survival instincts. I think it is just a different part of your survival instincts, because that kind of knowledge and that kind of awareness is how you survive in combat. I mean, this last fight might be kind of a one-off thing. That boulder hit you pretty hard, but it was, I feel like you were doing well before then.
Yeah, I'll admit,
sometimes
probably
luck
not
just-
the smartest risk to take, but I saw those things whomping on you and figured better to thin the field than let them keep doing it.
Nah, you're sweet. But no, it is fine. I mean, I feel like, and she just kind of reaches over and wraps her knuckles on her shield. Like, I am the anvil, and the wall, the defense that stands before the party, so, being surrounded is okay to me. I've definitely dealt with worse, but it's just, I can only be in so many places, right? So it is good to know that you have the wherewithal and the capabilities of getting around the field and filling in those gaps that the wall leaves open. So just, well, you and Gronka can fit into tight places. So, but
Yeah, he's pretty good at kneecapping people.
yeah. So it's just like and we have Argo too. Yeah, we have a lot of capabilities, and I think just as it stands right now, you're very much an agile presence on the field, and that can be a very big asset in combat. Having the capability of having someone move about and adjust accordingly. So I go forward, I stand in front of people, I swing and I get swung at. That is me. If I see someone is in danger, I go stand beside them, I swing and get swung at. That is what I do. You run forward, you go snicker snack with your light blade, and shit dies. So you know,
Yeah.
it's
I'll be honest. I've been feeling a bit. Well, guilt is a strong word, but I've been a little reliant on you a bit much. It's sort of been hitting a bit off for me. You're capable and all that, and that's why we depend on you to keep us safe and all that. But I've been sort of badgering you for all the advice that any basic soldier should probably know, and getting all your insights on everything. I feel like I'm taking advantage of it. Spreading you too thin, if that makes sense.
I mean, again, you're sweet. No, it's fine. Like, I thought you were gonna say you're relying on me too much in combat or something. Like, no. Like I said, I stand in front, I swing and get swung at.
Like, you're the wall
fine.
to make sure none of us get whomped.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You know, flying boulders aside, but yeah, like, no, why, you being better informed means I am better protected and aided in combat. Like, don't feel bad if you come up and ask me something, and you're like something just a base soldier should know. Like, you weren't a soldier, Bellon. You're a blacksmith. How would you know something if you've never been trained in it?
That's fair, I guess. Call it conditioning from a young age. I'm expected to know. But enough about that. This has been a lot to think about. Good to know that I'm not crazy. Because I'll be honest, I've never been one to tell people what to do if I can help it, because people usually know what they're doing better than anyone. Like this voice popping up, it keeps making it's like I want to just notice something and immediately call it out. And I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, if it's going to pull people's focus or help
Well,
them notice something.
if you see something that, you know, warrants that much attention, like, call it out. The least, or like, the most that can happen is someone hears what you said and acts accordingly. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Better to have more information on the battlefield than none.
I guess I'll try and indulge that little voice in my head for a bit and see how that goes. And you're going to be alright with me if I come out with something and yell it out with out of course?
Yeah, that's fine. Just know that if you say something stupid, I'll call you out on it.
Oh, I fully expect you. I wouldn't expect any less from you.
Okay, good. As long as you know.
Alright, with that, I think I got some things to find out. I'll leave you to your resting.
Alright. Come get me whenever dinner is ready.
Ironwood's got that pan of his he banged, so I'm sure you'll be the first to hear.
And with that,
That he'll give her like a knee pat or whatever the hell he can reach at this angle and just sort of head off.
okay.
Go find the snake.
And I believe at that moment,
Long, long, long.
Attack!
yeah.
Talking about finding the snake and dinner, I think that's about the time.
Oh no, did you cook the snake? Hey! Oh, there's plenty of
Climb.
I hate snake stew. What did I say also? That's about the time you see Arngrim actually bringing his pot outside, and he's got a little blanket underneath one arm, and he's got a big old pot of stew under the other. kind of glances. Oh, Willem! Perfect, just the man I need. Go inside, around the corner to the right, get the jug.
Sure.
Does that mean food is ready?
Aye! And beer.
Alright. Everyone, food ready. Let's go.
Vellum will do what's asked because I actually, out of character, did not hear what it was, but assumedly he did it.
Oh, he just made some kind of stew.
Ah, okay.
Sao sort of calls
Stew is
out,
good.
I'll be there in a moment.
Don't go swimming, that never ends well.
Oh no, I'm just checking up on Bastian.
No, today's too nice. Who can say they've ever had a picnic in the moor bog? We're eating outside today, lads.
Fair point. You want me to bring the table?
Apparently. Hey, what's up?
Do you want me to bring the table, or are we doing it on the...
Oh, we'll
I
just
got a
sit
ton.
on the ground. Who can... a table seems a little needless when you can sit on the grass. I got
Yeah,
the
that's
blanket
fair.
and I got the pot of stew. Would you go get the... me jug of bottomless drinks and... shite, some balls would be pretty good.
Yeah, I'll grab them now. You'll also just go about the place, get all the particulars, and heft them on out to wherever we're set.
I imagine probably around here. Like right by the foot of the spirit tree.
Yeah, it's a
Spontaneous DM
small-
quality check. DM, do you have a pre-made picnic asset?
Do you have a blanket asset?
I do not, but I can find one.
Alright. If you want, it's fine. If not,
Yeah.
yo, imagination.
Imagination lane.
Just
How to
continue.
DM 101.
Continue
Find
on,
assets when your players ask for it.
Yeah, just continue on as normal. I'll try and find one. So I like this idea.
So he's setting that stuff out there. Rather than being a big clang, he actually just lets out a whistle. As you know, we're all setting up there. He's doing that. All right, come on, shiny scales. Food's ready.
Shaw has so many nicknames by now.
There you go.
And there's also the troublesome triangle.
Danger noodle.
It's just look. I just gotta deal with it.
I mean, that's a big carpet and it kind of works.
Anyone see Grunka? I haven't seen him in a bit. I feel like he's hiding underneath something's shadow.
Yeah, Vellum just looks around and then finds Grunka in his shadow. It's like, oh, there you are.
Hello.
Food time.
Oh yeah. Specifically looking for mushrooms.
Well, I'm sure you'll find a bunch of mushrooms around here.
Mm.
Everything's growing everywhere. Crazy.
Sao just sort of looks to Grunka and then sort of looks up towards the sky and realizes, oh wait, sunlight. Oh.
There's a nice shady spot down by under that tree over there. Might be good for you.
Behind some of the rocks, maybe.
Just straight to the spirit tree.
I mean, it is the biggest tree here.
True.
Oh, and he's lost to us. He's vanished forever.
There he goes. Alright, so as you set out to a picnic here, impromptu picnic under the shade of the spirit tree, have your meal. It's a nice break from the current from the constant state of worry and near panic that you've been having throughout your travels here in the Moorbog. For once, you're not worried about random undead attacks. You're not worried about having to ward off the corrupting influence of the place. And it's a similar experience to when you had a picnic near the Golem. When you're travelling through Mayland, it's just a nice break in the pace. So, does anyone want to say or do anything while you're having your evening meal here?
Vellum will pick Snake's brain, but it's mostly just in the background because he's. I'll open it up with some dialogue, but then it'll just be like while things are going on. This one. Deja, need to talk to you while we're having some food, if that's all right. Oh, there's spices on board. Yeah. Man, there's some connection problems today.
Well.
Waiting for it to reconnect.
Yeah, sorry about
I'm
me
back now.
earlier. A wire got loose. Oh, hey, perfect.
There we go. Perfect. Did you catch what Vellum said?
Not at all.
Okay. Well, he sits next to Snack. He's like, oh, Deja, I'm gonna want to ask you some things while we're eating, if that's alright.
Sure.
I wanted to know a bit more about all your magic nonsense, because I feel like we'd be better prepared if I knew what the hell you could do. Like, I didn't know anything about that bird blindness or whatever it was.
Right. I haven't used that in a while. That was my B.
No, that's not your fault. I just want to know more.
Oh, right.
And then in the background, Vellum will know about Dejar's spell list, whatever Dejar wishes to check. This has been discussed before session.
Yeah. Discussing over meals the nature of Dejar's magic and what was essentially also discussed with Arngrim, I imagine.
Arngrim is going to be a different check because they've got other things to discuss as well, but it will be a part of that.
Okay.
That'll be after though.
Okay. So gradually, one by one, as you all finish your very hearty meals. Eventually, the sun begins to set, the column of light begins to fade, and one of the very first sort of real indications that night is coming.
Oh, look, the moon.
Yeah, and
I've seen that in a while.
For once, you can actually see the moon kind of poking through that small parting in the clouds. Or rather,
It must look hilarious from a distance.
yeah. Well, you see one of the two moons. Yes.
Been so long.
Just amused. Sorry, I'm picturing people like on guard duty at the walls, looking out to the distance, and there's just a hole in the sky.
Yeah. Or probably some distance away. You won't be able to see it there.
Just imagine when that actually happens.
Oh yeah. Maybe a couple decades down the line.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Alright, so what do you wish to talk about?
Food complete, yes?
Yes. At this point.
Right, Arngrim, we was gonna have a chat. You wanted to talk to me about something, I want to talk to you about something.
Aye.
Nothing, I can wait. Nothing like a good after-meal heart attack. It's true, Dwarven cooking. Have a stroke afterwards.
The stew went down the wrong tube.
Is it too hearty? I added too many hearts. Yeah, don't worry.
Oh, that's some good pepper. Okay, go on.
Yeah, you. Before I get my gabber out of the way, what did you need to talk to me about?
Oh, well, you see, he kind of looks about. There's.
You want to go somewhere and talk about it?
No. I have a very important smithing project. You see, and I was hoping that I might be able to get your help with it.
Yeah, sure. I've been itching to do some smithing for a while now. Fucking sky cover can't do shit. But yeah, happy to help.
Sunlight here.
True, but I'd have to spend like a whole day getting stuff done, and I don't want to be in the Morbog for longer than we are.
True. Well, I was hoping you might be able to help me do some, little bit of jewel work. Be able to, encrust and things like that.
Yeah, I could do that. I've got the tools for the job, and I've been doing some on these projects I've done in the past. There was this one gaudy piece that had like 7 gems in it.
Yeah,
anyway, yeah, I can help. I am going to need to put
like
some
that.
time to getting the dings out of my armor and reattaching some of the plates, but besides that, I'm free and good to go. We can chat while we're doing it.
Ah, good. Yes. January sent you a message.
Right, okay.
Secrets and lies, secrets and lies.
Kinda.
Secrets are most fun. Secrets tell no.
Oh yeah, this is part of that.
Okay. Good.
So I'm looking at making something, and well, I'm wanting to put some gems on it and some things of significance, but I can't really do gem crafting very well. You can make something that has holes for sockets, and then you just be able to right into there. But I was hoping I might be able to.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bitch. It's pretty delicate stuff. What kind of gems were you thinking? I got like a crap ton here. It just sort of like goes into his bag of holding images.
Might I be able to purchase some gems from you?
Fuck off for that purchase stuff. I got enough of them to go around, and whatever you make tends to be worthwhile, so I'm happy to give a few up for the cause.
Alright, well, I'm looking at making a very valuable focus, because he leans in and he whispers at you in a tone that everybody can hear. I'm trying to make a spell. And for that, I'd be wanting a big old focus. And I'm looking at something very fancy. Sort of like, you had that nice fancy mirror. As he kind of looks over to the snake. It'd be something similar to that.
Right, well, got a few nice gems here. We can find something for the job, sure.
Lovely.
How many will you need? I could probably get a good collection going.
I was hoping for 3.
Right, well, we can talk over particulars of aesthetics when we're doing the work. But yeah, we can get on that.
Works. Lovely. Sooner the better, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I
Now
figured we got
sort
some
of-
time to fall asleep.
Looks to Vellum and Arngrim for a moment as she thinks, and sort of looks into the inside of her coat for a moment, and just looks back. I do have a patch for gems, I think it is. And she sort of folds the inside of her right side outwards a little, and it shows a little patch with 10 gems in a circle. Would these work?
Han squints at him. What are these?
Sao's inner coat is basically a reflavored robe of useful items. It has a patch where if you pull it off, it'll generate 10 gems worth 100 gold each.
Nice.
That would be incredibly helpful.
When I made this, I kind of fell prey to the the whims of magic, shall we say. And most of these patches, well, they can't exactly choose them. And she sort of takes the patch, and it looks like it's stitched on, but as she removes it, it just sort of peels off. And
Is
as she holds the
Velcro?
What? No, it's just magic.
Just don't attach them to the shoes and you'll be fine.
As it peels off and she holds it out towards, Vellum and Arngrim, it just sort of recongeals into 10 gems of... I don't care what gems they are, Janner.
Mm-hmm.
You pick.
Let's see. For this type of focus, probably like a really valuable onyx might be suitable.
Here, just sort of pulls them out like casually. Here's 1,000 golds worth of gems.
All right.
Oh well, you didn't have to waste that. It's just like he tips the bag of holding out and just sort of like hand is in and sort of funnels out the various gems he's got of varying quality.
Mm-hmm.
But more is always good, I guess.
I can always remake this, these patches and coats. I just need to use them all before I do, because I can't exactly sew magic onto magic.
Makes sense. Yeah, any of these catching your eye, Uncle? I know a couple of choice ones here, but I guess only you know what aesthetic you want to. We just put a pile of jewels in front of a dwarf. What have we done?
There is a lot of valuable gems here. Very valuable gems.
Yeah, Vellen's been sitting on this shit and has held on to them specifically for use in crafting, but never comes up. So he's just been amassing jewels. He's the Grunko with gems.
Oh yeah.
I love that there's a bedroll in there.
Yeah, so some of these are better quality than most. I think this one's got a bug in it. He just sort of looks at the amber that he's got. Either way, I probably avoid using that diamond there. I think, if I remember right, some of them can be used for big spells. The ones that make sure we don't die.
Pick you back up 10 days later.
Yeah. Well, just put that back in the bag. There's that purple one that looks nice. There's a couple of blue ones there. It's good.
When it comes to like aesthetics for Mortrim's worshippers, generally a sort of black plus a black and blue or a black and green aesthetic is desirable.
We talking turquoise? We talking sapphire? What kind of blue? Do have a jet?
Black opals could be
black oak.
Yeah, yeah. Black opals are very valuable, and for what I imagine Arngrim's creating, could be suitable for that.
Plenty of black and blue there's.
I did just pull off like 10 random gems worth.
Yep.
Yeah, decide those gems and then we'll add that to the...
Yeah, flavor them as you need. Meanwhile, Sao just sort of looks into the inside of her coat again to look at the patches. And just sort of... while you're figuring that out, I just realized I have a portable ram.
I mean, we already have a portable ram. His name's Bast.
No, I mean like... And then she just gestures towards Liska like... A portable ram she can use to blow down a gate.
Oh, right, the banging kind.
That seems very useful.
Well, we'll keep it in mind if we're ever doing a siege.
I also have 2 wooden ladders. And 2 iron doors.
You're halfway to building a house.
I also have... Ooh, this one has 4 potions on it. You keep forgetting that one.
I'd hold on to that for emergency.
And one with a horse and saddlebag. She just sort of casually looks up as she closes down her coat again.
You've got a horse in your coat.
Just sort of blinks for a moment and realizes what she actually said. Technically, yes.
Well, horses aside, you want to get to work on this, Argon? Or do you need more time to decide?
Yes, I do.
Alrighty, what are we going with then?
Well, he is going to reach into his bag of holding and pull out his mundane coin purse, and he's going to throw out a few large chunks of platinum, just large coinage bars.
Look, I told you keep your money. I got so many fucking things.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we're allies, ain't we? Least I could do is help you with what you need, and if I got an excess of it.
Well, I was gonna use the rest of this then, as he pulls out a third little bar. And it's gonna be something made out of platinum. And
I've worked with platinum before. I've mainly used it for gilding, but yeah.
Are those little dark iron residues I see in your little gym bag there?
Right, yeah.
Razors.
Yeah, I found some a while back, but been holding on to it because it's not exactly easy to come by. Would you want to use a bit of it for whatever you're working on?
How about we do that a bit?
Sorry, say that again.
Secret. How about we do a bit of that? I'll tell you a secret of what I'm making. It's you can know. I want to surprise the others, but you can know since you're going to be helping me.
I assume we've sort of scooted off the side at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I imagine so. Let's stick you over here, shall we?
Yeah, sorry, I've got like 2 sheets open.
It's fine. In that case, he'll open up the little chest by his anvil, where he's got some of his outdoor smithing supplies. He'll rummage around and he'll find a little handwritten blueprint. It is. I'll DM it to you.
Please do.
Alright.
Yeah, if it wasn't clear from Vellum's demeanor, a lot of what he holds on to is like things that can be used for projects later on. Like even if it's a dark iron rim to a shield, or like a fucking that gem to a sword or something like that. That's the mentality he tends to have with anything material.
Just hoard it.
I mean, he's still got the equivalent of dwarven nut platinum. Because he melts it down for gilding. Because that's all it's worth to him.
Mm-hmm. I'll never forget that as a thing.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, Vellum's a hoarder. But only for useful things.
What's everyone else doing while you're both kind of sorting that out briefly?
He's got to DM me that biz and all that.
Tiara's going to be going through those other spell books. I put another one in her spell book.
Okay, yeah. We discussed that before last session, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're inscribing another spell into your spellbook. Let's see, Sayu and Grunka, what are you both doing, if anything?
Besides eating, just enjoying the fact that this is peaceful and quiet.
Grunka was about to grill some mushrooms, but then realized that all the mushrooms were kind of slightly like shimmering and glowing, and he decided not to.
Oh dear. No, it's they're not Vampire's Delight, thankfully. Who knows what effects they are.
It's just that, like, he knows that. It's just that, like, I don't know. This is like a foiled mushroom.
Mm-hmm. This guy, you just doing the same, just finishing up eating. think.
Sorry, no, I was distracted by stuff. Yeah, Lisko's just sitting there, like,
Hands over here.
like munching, looking, like, at everyone as they're conversing. When Sal's like, I have a horse in my cloak, like, Lisko just kind of, like, pauses for a second. And then, whenever Willem and Arbor go off, she just kind of points her spoon at Sal's, like, that's kind of fucked up. And then just continues eating.
I
Yeah.
was expecting to say, yeah, so do I.
yeah, I also have a horse over there.
Sarah just sort of. She's still eating, but it has made her think a bit like, you know, it is a bit fucked up. But again, that's kind of the nature of these patches. I don't exactly get to choose the majority of them. I mean, it could have been a lot more different. Like, let's see, a bunch of mastiffs, for example.
Like, why? How does that work? Like, is there a horse and then suddenly they put it into the jacket? Or is it just like, was it just a patch? Like some old lady sewed together like a horse patch and then just attached it.
Are you
Think of it like
creating new life when you do that? Kind of Sivir kind of ponders to himself.
Sal sort of holds up her own spoon for a moment as if to sort of answer him, but then she just sort of pauses and like, I don't know. Magic is weird, but I will say this. It is a very useful magic item to have, but the nature of how it works makes it chaotic. Like, and she sort of holds out the left side as she gestures to the ladder patches. There are two of them. These make a 24-foot ladder. So,
How big is the ladder?
24 feet long.
No, I mean, like, can I climb it?
I don't actually know. You're quite a large lady, so...
Mm-hmm. Just curious, want to make sure I have...
I mean,
everything is in order. I mean, if you think about it, you can put two ladders side by side and I can climb up that way.
true. She sort of looks to the lower side where the iron doors are. I do believe these go up to about a 10 by 10th. So, theoretically, if I throw one down here, you could use one as a literal body shield.
Hey.
Interesting.
So, have you sent over the thing to Willem?
Yeah, we were discussing it at the end. I'm just transferring gems.
Okay.
Okay, so the opals go over there.
So, what we could do here is we do a simple jewel crafter's check with advantage.
I have that tool here somewhere.
This
Second.
would probably be you kind of making this throughout the rest of the evening before you all head to bed for the night. Or at least what counts as night here in the Morbog.
Alright, so I'm not gonna spoil anything. One black opal is worth 1,000 already, so split it up into two, or do you want like the full gambit situation?
That's, I didn't realize they were that valuable.
They are pretty valuable.
This is a very valuable thing, Janner.
I
Yes,
think
it
it's
is.
better to use the gems I supplied.
Well, I mean, I'm indifferent. I just want to know if you want to go over the value you are aiming for.
I have no problem with going over that value just to flex. The question is,
entirely fair.
this is something that you could take a gem worth that, make it jewelry, and sell it for 3 times as much.
Yeah, that is basically the plan once we get out of the... how about this? How about we split the difference? Instead of giving you 2 of the opals, I give you 1. Thematically say we turn it to what's required. Because then, whatever extra gems for the blues and stuff.
Yeah, that could work.
I know. We'll just split one of them, turn it into little dust, line it on the inside. You don't have to have as much.
Well, I mean,
but it's still
thanks to the trick of the light with these things, you can probably put it in the deep part of it, and then it'll sort of shine, like almost like little points. Just gonna fucking. Sorry, I meant to split the stack, but I didn't. Just. Sorry, I'm. This is the first time figuring out UI stuff.
Yeah.
I still don't know how to change my fucking token.
You just go to effects, and you'll see like a token image, top down token image roleplay pod. You just right click.
There's 2 engrams. Which one do I send it to?
Hang on. What are you trying to send?
I'm sending gems over to engram.
Oh right. You right click trade.
There's 2 of them.
I don't know. Try sending them to.
I'll send it to the first one and hope for the best.
Yeah. Sending.
Did that go through? Okay, good. Now, I don't know how to split a stack. How do I duplicate an item or split a stack?
Okay, try sending it to the other engram. I don't think you can split a stack.
Oh, well, can I duplicate the item so I still have 1 opal?
Yeah. You just
How do
change
I do?
It's the opal.
It should be in the loop of my.
All right, let me just right. Oh, cool. I'll just give you another one.
But hey, it feels like there should be a duplicate option, but there isn't.
Okay, there you go.
Oh god, I've got 3 of them.
Just go ahead and send one to the other.
I'm doing alchemy. I have 3 of them. I'll delete one. No, you were to be ready and send player and.
I don't think that went through. Just send it to the other engram. I said.
Oh, I didn't realize. Get those back.
Good.
Okay, send player, send to the second engram.
There we go.
Hey, there's also a sapphire there as well. As sorry for all that fiddliness, I need to know how this stuff works so it's in my brain.
Fam.
Right, so gem crafting check.
A gem crafting check, yes. With engram's help.
Best tools. There's my jeweler's tools. With advantage, you said?
Yes, with advantage. This would be dexterity. Oof.
Yeah, I already have a macro set up. My entire second bar is mostly crafting.
Alright, nice. 26. Yeah. Over the course of the evening, you and Arngrim both kind of buckle down together and end up crafting this incredibly...
We'll save Well, sorry, I didn't want to cut off Biff. It's a surprise. I figure he's going to want to leave it.
And you end up crafting it. It's immaculate.
And as for the conversation, well, I presume this can happen while they work. Right, Angram. I'm trying to get a bit of a better idea of what everyone's capable of, and I usually ignore all that magic shit because I ain't got a fucking clue about it, but it'd be good to know what you're able to do, and I guess what your steam hammer and shit like that's able to do as well. I know roughly what it does, but not, like, basics of how it does what it does.
So, you need... I'm sorry, can you phrase that in a bit more comprehensible way?
Oh, right, sorry. It gets hard to do trade tongue when I'm focusing. I want to know more about what you can do with your magic, and a bit more about your steam hammer and that other exploding thing. What do you call it? Mortar.
Okay. Let's see where to start. Do you want me to start with the steam hammer then?
Sure. And also remember, we can't gloss over a lot of the nitty-gritty as we discussed in DMs.
Alright. And for the sake of that, so everybody knows, just a general thing, he'll explain that. You know, he has a little bit of a font of power that he can draw from, our channel divinities, though he doesn't quite call it that. He can only do it once or twice a day, and it exhausts him. But if he's able to rest for a bit, i.e. a short rest, he can do it again. That you might have noticed over the course of the Morbog, or since he's been using the tank and his routine's been getting more steady, he's one of the first people that's up. And when we weren't in the bog, you would have noticed that, Vellum, during your little 30-minute morning ritual. He starts the tank in the morning, and then rests and hangs out afterwards, so he has his full 2 charges. The tank runs off of one of these charges, and it's a lot of secret runes that he won't go too much into, but basically he's got a whole heck of a lot of stuff he's done in there that creates steam, and it works off of that, and that's its engine, and it'll work for about a day. He's got that big cannon you've seen that shoots condensed steam that uses one of his little Fonta charges. He's got a big old vent of steam around it that he can do in case they start to get overwhelmed. That's something that uses a charge. And the thing has the ability to just shoot little concentrated bits from the turrets, and that doesn't have a charge or, you know, an emission type. That's just part of it. It's not quite as much of a wallop as what Sao Yun could do, or a really skilled archer, but it's consistent. And you don't have to be super trained. Somebody like Severe could get on it and just kind of point and click and away you go. As far as anything else, it's pretty darn good at climbing and in really rocky, uneven terrains. Really wide treads, so it can go on a lot of more unsteady surfaces and not put all the pressure in one place and cause a mountainside to crumble. Lots of storage. Sunroof in the back. So it's, you know, it's a decently equipped little thing that can do quite a bit. The big stuff consumes one of my charge, so we have to choose that carefully. He's got the mortar, which is still constantly being refined and tuned. We saw how that worked a bit with that big old erudite giant, or ogre. He's been wanting to use that more with Sao Yun, but he's a little hesitant of doing really extremely loud explosions and stuff here because we don't know what it will attract. But if we need to shoot something far off, we can do it, but it's kind of pointless when there's a fog that's 50 feet in front of you and you can't see far enough to justify a mortar.
And as discussed, Angrim, is there anything spell-wise that Angrim omits, or is it just like he gives the spiel that he can prepare for a lot of occasions, and these are what vaguely he's capable of.
Yep. He just goes over it, and it's one of those deals of hey, here's what he can do. Here's
Everything.
Here's the cleric. Yeah. Here's the cleric spell list that takes you to the guidance when it should be organized by cantrip and descending.
Yeah, I looked the other day. It's good.
There's his fucking spells. Here's what he can do with his domains. You might tell he's a utilitarian guy. He's kind of a tank and a bruiser. He's not your classic healer type. He can do healing. He's happy to have stuff prepared. And he's got the harp as a supplemental thing. But when it comes to, combat stuff, he's not I stand in the back and heal. It's I go up front and wall up somebody and distract them so you don't have to get healed.
Yep. So
it's something he can do though.
Yeah. So over the course of the crafting and all this discussion, and it's sort of when it gets to the point of the mortar, and it's sort of the concerns about drawing too much sound and its general ineffectiveness of fog being a problem. This is this is a lot to take in, but am I remembering right that you got you can do a magic to make things quiet? Am I remembering that right?
I should be able to.
And shouldn't that solve that problem?
Well, potentially. It's a pretty distant spell. I want to say, well, for you, 40 good, strides, 120 feet. I can do that. It's something I have to concentrate on to keep it going, and it's an equal part of, a little less than 10 wide strides across 20 some odd feet, from the center out. So it's a pretty big area, but it only affects the sound in there. So if I want to silence, my little motor and its thump, I have to put it on us, but then wherever it lands, you can hear that explode. Or I can try and predict and put it over there, and then you can hear the thump on us, but the bigger boom and pop won't be heard wherever the shell lands. So you got to pick one or the other.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless both areas are right next to each other, in which case we're in trouble.
Right, that does make sense. Learn a bit more about how you can apply magic stuff. Because it seemed odd to me that when you was telling me what you could do, that you haven't thought to do that before, but you obviously got your reasons, and that's fine. So you pick a space in the air, or is it a object that you pick to do it? Have you got it if we're moving, you can't just stick it on the tank or something?
It's normally... I normally pick a point. It's like a location. It doesn't have to be targeting a thing. I can have it, my head height up in the middle of the air. I don't know if it's something that can follow an object. I'd be happy to try that. Because if I make the point the center of my steam engine, and I concentrate on the center of my steam engine, it might follow, or it might just stay where that steam engine was. Magic's a wee bit finicky that way. To be honest, I haven't tried. We can give it a try, and we can discuss fairness, rules, interpretations, and see how the GM...
Yeah, that was something I was trying to think of, and it seemed like a good segue into figuring that out, because Vellum's fucking stupid about magic and doesn't...
We could probably
Arndr, because he has that...
clerics can do silence, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean...
Passive.
We're gonna have a good rest anyway, so it might be worth testing out before we all turn in, but just a second. Out of character, give me a second, sorry. I'm checking spells.
Yep. So what we can do is...
No, sorry. Continue. Can't be an object.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's my thought.
That's fair. Just wanted to be sure of that, because I know some DMs are weird about it.
Imagine somebody casts silence on an amulet, gives it to the rogue. The rogue goes around and assassinates everyone.
Yeah.
It's just an ATG's method.
Well, that's one thought. Although I was talking to Jajar earlier, and that mortifies like a solid thing at people, right? Like a big catapult, but more kaboom.
Yes. Kind of turns to Sal, pulled Ducky into the conversation. You want to tell him about the mortar?
I mean, yeah. She sort of looks back over her shoulder for a moment. I'm assuming they're back because currently on the map they're a wee bit over there.
Yeah. I imagine you've kind of gone back over to the rest of the folks.
Yeah, by the time the entire discussion of everything Arngrim is capable of is probably going to take up the entirety of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sal looks over to the shoulder to the mortar and then just... Yeah, it kind of works like a catapult, except you can reload faster, shoot more consistently. Kind of.
Because I was,
you're not exactly limited to, building up a giant wooden structure.
Right, because that's kind of what I was thinking with that making quiet spell, but that may not work. But Jajar, I was talking to Jajar earlier, learning about what the hell she could do, and she got this spell that makes things dark. So what if you like stuck that on? What do you call the thing you put in it? The thing you shoot out.
I usually refer to it as a shell, mostly because,
right. So what if you're like, she can put it on things. So what if you put that dark spell on a shell, and then fire it, and then wherever it lands is dark? Could blind a lot of people.
Sal sort of pauses for a moment and just looks at Bellum. You are aware that at some point the shell will land far, far away, but during the whole time it's flying through the air, everybody can see a giant ball of pitch blackness just soaring through the air, and then it lands.
Well, how fast does it go?
Yeah, it's quite fast. Usually it lands, and she sort of looks over to Arngrim. What was it we figured it out? About 12 seconds? Depending on range.
I think that's about right.
Because I've been trying to get my head around all this magic business, and what you apply to it is pretty versatile stuff, way over my head. Might be good to combine some of them effects that go on things with like ammunition or something like that, or even steam hammer if it works well enough.
See, that's a kind of a thing here. The steam hammer is very much Arngrim's love child of creation, shall we call it. It is a wondrous piece of equipment. It does have one flaw, which sort of gestures to Arngrim himself. Only he can use it.
Well, yeah, I figured
that's
that made
not
sense.
the flaw, that's by design.
Yeah, I figured that was the case. I mean, you don't want somebody walking off with something that deadly.
True, but I call it the flaw in the sense that if you're not there to drive it, and I need to move the mortar somewhere else, I can't.
It's not that heavy, but getting a little off pace here.
So just looks to Velen as she mentions it's not that heavy. Just it is rather heavy.
Right. Well, I think it was that, but I don't know. I guess I had thoughts hearing about all this magic bark and thought it might be worthwhile mentioning. So I mean, imagine there's a whole bunch of nasty further downfield.
I'm down to experiment and try out new different things, but she sort of looks past the steam hammer. I would like to do it in a safer space.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying the ideas as they come out. Like, I think we could all. I'm just thinking that maybe we work together well enough as is, but if there's more ways we can do it, then worth at least experiment. Anyways, I think we're done here, Arm Room, you think?
I can't think of anything else.
Alright, do you want to go dramatically reveal it to everyone then?
Is this thing actually done? Do I need to do anything to craft this son of a bitch?
You already made the crafting roll. That was a 26. It is finished. You've been at.
Venom's even going to put like a little bit of tarp over it, so it's hidden for the moment.
You've been at it for a few hours. We're kind of well into the evening now, turning around like 11 p.m.
Because I do have to use the little blessing to make the thing as valuable as possible with my auto make it. What you call it? So the automatic base, and then he put a fucking 26 worth of jewels and crafting. So good God.
This is why he holds on to stuff, so it can be used for worthwhile endeavors.
So, in terms of just raw goods, how many? What was the value of the raw gems that you put in there?
1,000 in raw gem because I gave you a black opal and a sapphire, and they are both worth 1,000 each.
Did Ducko? Did you? What did you do with your gems? Did you want them back since he used those?
No.
I'm fine either way. I'm not trying to like.
The gems are taken off her patch. I've already removed it from my patch list, and they're basically yours to keep because the only thing I could use gems for is what if I made magic gem bullets?
Shrapnel bullets.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, you can always add whatever there is, but I guess that feels.
You two can make fine jewelry and just sell for like 1,000,000 gold. Go for it.
Damn.
Yeah, casually just hand your friend 1,000 golds worth of gems. Be like, here.
Here's a lot of fucking money.
So, be about worth 3 times what it was cost to make, yeah?
Sure.
Okay, so... Yeah, this is a pretty valuable holy symbol.
Yeah.
Fucking should be.
Just a little bit?
Yeah, it's about 3,000 gold.
Ah, yes. Here's the entire family life's pay of a farmer's life. And then some.
I mean,
Well,
gems
what I
be
wanna do
valuable,
with
my
it-
dude.
Yeah.
So, what does this thing look like?
Grand
I'm trying to see if
presentation.
I can find any sort of like suitable art to sort of, give an example of what it might be.
What,
It's a little difficult.
Go ahead, yeah, just describe it for us.
Sure, I'll post a little bit of a picture in the chat.
Yeah, we can probably sort out the art later.
You sure can. To give a rough idea while something proper is made, it's essentially one of these, or something similar to it. It's made with, from magical crafting that makes including non-metal parts. It is an ivory skull, gilded with a significant chunk of platinum in gold. It has a little dark iron hood on it. It has the black opal dust inside the eyes. Hood itself, the trim is gold with the little, I'm guessing blue in this instance because it fit, gems that Cao Yun gave him, along with a large center piece of the, what was it, sapphire you said?
Yep.
With a large center sapphire. It's not quite like a third eye thing, but it's aligned with that and prominent on the hood as, like, you know, aesthetic. It is like a three-dimensional skull, like an actual piece. And behind it is sort of, here, this is another like good little sort of visual thing for it. Behind it, framed almost like a wall hanger sort of deal or something like that, or something flat for it to rest, skull facing upward, is what appears to be a series of bars. The edge has what is clearly, though made out of gold, like brick stonework. It almost looks like a gate that would go into something. And if anybody can read Dwarven runes, you would see a series of what appear to be like little funeral rite passages and things like that. Something iconic you see on a lot of Dwarven graves.
Neat.
This is the weirdest, most expensive thing I've ever worked on. Skulls. And also, this is apparently the size of a normal dwarven skull, so it is fucking chonker.
It is quite large.
Thing.
You could kill a person with this.
Probably will at some point.
Fun fact, to figure out the skull shape, I kinda just, as he starts poking his own beak cheek with the finger. So this is my skull. Or at least
That's
best
not
I can
disturbing
think
at all.
Sao just then looks to Liska and then points to Arngrim with her spoon, like, that's fucked up.
I mean,
No.
you know, it happens.
It's
What
do you
useful.
need? What do you
Make
need
it a
this for
joke.
again?
Quite simple. So he'll set it down, and he's going to cast a spell on it. See, this is what I'm currently trying to do. This is my greater focus. Don't know if it will work, but he's going to cast this. Oh, come on, you son of a bitch. Oh, get out of the search. I'm trying to... Sorry, I'm trying to be able to hover over something to link the info.
Ooh.
So he casts the spell on the skull. The runes begin to glow. It goes through some of the etchings, gold and the platinum, and it starts to reach out, but the runes fail. Come on! It still didn't work. And he goes into a quick but string of dwarven curses.
Well, whatever it is you was trying to do, I'm sure you'll get it in no time. Got your focus to keep trying with, at least. So that's the hard part done.
Again, I needed this. It's an important piece, so... okay. A lot of it. I think if anybody is able to recognize actually this past, they want to try. But I think that for the lot of it'll be a worthwhile, and I'm hoping to make my insights as we go into that temple.
Get a bit roboty. Whoops.
Got the general vibe of it, but yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I caught
Yeah.
most of it, basically.
I did.
It'll be
It's just a-
worthwhile and something about.
I imagine
It'll be
Popping in the
worthwhile for
bog.
the lot of us. Especially once I answer whatever I need to make this work in the temple. Thank you for sharing.
Ah,
Well,
I wonder.
go ahead.
Did y'all actually notice this spell at all? Like recognized it all?
this
I think
would
it's
be,
Arcana to recognize spells.
This is
I
more.
do believe so.
Yeah, this would be an Arcana check.
Alright.
Because it's not a spell you know, so you can't instantly recognize it. So you have to do, I think, an Arcana check.
Yeah, this would be an Arcana.
That's why I was asking for a prompt indirectly.
Yeah,
but,
go,
okay.
go, danger.
Ah, okay.
20. You have heard about this spell being cast by very powerful priestly individuals, clerical individuals, maybe even I think paladins can also cast a spell. I'm not sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
People of faith are generally able to cast a spell if they are skilled and powerful enough and have a deep connection with their god. Typically, it does what it says on the tin. It wards you against death if you were to perish. With this enchantment upon you, this holy ward, you would regain this fraction of life.
Good to know.
I'm gonna assume, just based on the wording of it, because something just popped into my head, which would trigger first, Death Ward or Relentless Endurance from Orcs?
I'd say Relentless Endurance because they're holding on to their last vestiges of life/consciousness, and this triggers like death.
That would make sense.
Well, I think I'd actually probably argue Death Ward, but
I'm just giving my opinion. I'm not.
no, yeah, that's fine. The only reason I would say Death Ward takes precedence is it says the first time you would drop to 0 hit points. I don't know where Relentless does it. Yeah, Relentless Endurance says when you are reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright. So
Okay.
Death Ward makes you drop to 1, so Relentless Endurance wouldn't even trigger until you fell again.
I did say first.
That's pretty fucking
It
strong.
does say first,
All right,
which is
I
important
stand
because-
corrected. Thank you for
Sorted.
correcting me.
Got it.
Yeah, that is a very useful thing, because that means you take additional hits, and you don't have to expend your thing. This goes first.
All right, I'm gonna get some sleep. I am exhausted, and I'm gonna need to sleep some of this off.
Right.
Make his way on into wagon
Alright.
town.
Is everyone else going to do the same?
Why did I park it this way? I gotta walk all the way around and go to the back.
Fucking amateur hour over here.
Amateur.
Oh, I forgot to close the door again. There we go.
Amateur hour.
Amateur.
Is everyone else headed to bed? Or anything else
Yeah.
you want
Yeah.
That's it.
to... Alright.
Sorry for sucking up so much time, by the way. It was very important for Velen to
Oh no, it's
understand things.
fine. It's fine. No, it's a nice roleplay break. The constant horrors that are the Morborg. Okay,
But hey,
so as you all retire for the night, one by one, you awaken the next day unhindered, refreshed, renewed. Seemingly no shadows dared to approach you in the night, and for the first time in many days, you smell the lack of decay wafting through the air. You've tuned out most of the distant cries and howls of unearthly creatures while trying to sleep, but this night you notice a peaceful night. It's been one of the most restful nights of sleep you've ever had here in the Cursed Lands. You are refreshed, renewed, filled with hope for the next day as you begin to pack up your things and set out for the next day of travel. And unless anyone has anything else to say, we'll do. We can move on.
A brief thing. As everyone's packed up, ready to go, getting in their usual positions, Velem's... But Jajar is usually with Velem on the seating place, right?
Yeah.
Jajar, I'm gonna need you to do something for me while we're traveling. Might give us a bit of more of an edge going forward. You look through the eyes of that bird of yours, if I remember right. So, do you think you could have it flying like above us, high enough that it can still see us and what's around us, but not too high that it goes past the little fog layer?
Yes, I can do that.
Right. If you could do that, and if you see anything, let us know, or like give me a squeeze or something like that, and then we'll know that there's. I don't know how far out we can see through this fog, or how far it can see through the fog, but the sooner we know things are coming, the better. So, thank you kindly.
Can do.
That you'll be content with that.
Okay, I'm just going to briefly replace your resolve effects because they wore off after the rest.
Mine's still there apparently.
I think mine's still there.
Not on your,
And mine's is still there.
not on your effects tab.
It's still in
Yeah.
the features, but not effects.
That's the way it usually kind of works. It automatically wears
I
off.
still have life transference on me for some reason.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
The
Going to
duration
do that.
is minus 44,200 seconds.
Yeah, you can go ahead and delete that.
That's been running since the last session, I guess.
Take it down for mine too, Deanna. That'd be great.
Turns
Yeah.
out the judge just been siphoning life non-stop.
Oh my god.
The big suck.
No, she's a married woman.
Let's see. What else do I wanna do?
For us to know the way.
So, where is? I mean, we're in like a different campsite, so we don't really have it. But has the giant barrel of ale that we found? Like, is that still a thing?
Yeah,
Is that still around?
It's still around. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Jerky
We don't
is
have
still
an art
on it.
asset, but that fucker would be right about here as it's being towed by the steam wagon.
Okay.
And Jerky's well still on it.
Okay. I was gonna ask, like, is it like how full is it? Has it been getting drunk this entire time? Like, what's what is it?
It's
'Cause this
about
is
to
probably
be.
the last. Because this is probably the last source of fresh water we're gonna get for the rest of this journey.
Sao sort of. I'm assuming Liske is sort of talking out loud about this.
Yeah, she'll come like, because it's Arngrim's alcohol. She'll like go up to Arngrim and talk, like ask about it, and then mention the water.
The water? I'm sorry, what do you mean mention the water?
All the water in this area has been purified, so it's like fresh.
Oh
spring
no!
water.
What if your alcohol's been purified?
It's not part of the ground.
No, she's got a point. We'll have to taste test it to make sure. Alright, come on, Lisa, grab a mug. My chest.
Okay.
I have a chest of preserving in the back. It's icy cold. I got some glass ones in there.
Sao sort of, granted she's walking with, Liske and Arngrim about this, because she has something to say. Okay.
Oh,
She sort of raises her hand a little to sort of get their attention.
As he stops mid-reach for the alcohol lever.
About the freshwater thing, she sort of takes out her own water skin, and then sort of holds it up. Okay, you know I do weird and wacky shit at times.
I'm
Hey, it's why we love you.
Alright, watch this. So uncorks it and just says fresh water, and then turns it upside down, and it just starts pouring out like water more than it actually should contain, and then sort of turns it up again and then corks it.
Oh, it's like a beer thing.
Yeah,
Hi,
like
it's like my alchemy job. Or he reaches underneath his armor and under the breastplate to a pocket, pulls out a flask. Good times, and he opens it, and an equal amount, some honeyed gold liquid. He's pouring and pouring. His eyebrows slowly raising further and further up, where he doesn't cork it. He turns it upright, takes a swig, then corks it.
Yeah, this entire time, while y'all fucking just pouring stuff out for 30 seconds each, Liska's just like, the fuck are
She's
these
pouring stuff out for
dumbasses?
herself, too.
Yeah, she's taking a piss. Like, she's joining in. No, it's... she's just sitting there watching, like, this is the dumbest, like... She won't think this. She'll be like, that's the dumbest thing. Just say what the fuck they do. You don't have to pour that shit out.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
No, I understand it's bottomless, Sal. I'm just saying you could have said that instead of just sitting here for 30 seconds while you pour.
It's not technically bottomless.
Oh,
I
mine
have
is.
sort of recreated an alchemy jug. But
Fucking lovely.
I couldn't really find the proper container, so she just holds up her water skin again.
Let me see it. Can I borrow it?
Sure. And she sort of hands it over.
Holds it. Mayonnaise!
Liska takes her head, she's like, I fucking knew it.
This is the moment we find out, is it an orange or is it a blue jug?
It does pour out mayonnaise.
There you go.
It is an orange. Ha! 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 It's perfectly sandwich-sized. Alright, here you go.
The yard just looks around, just like after filling up one of her water skins. You know what? No, I'm not don't ask.
This is just like rub your temples.
We've got fresh water for a while. Is what I'm taking away from this. We all good to go now?
We already did with my job. But this is nice in case anything ever happens to it, or I use all of its resources on mayonnaise and beer.
That's
worthwhile
it. No,
endeavor.
I'm gone. I am gone. She just fills her water up and just goes back to the wagon. I am not dealing with this.
Sal just takes a finger and runs around the rim of her water flask, and then just sort of clears out the last bit of mayonnaise before she corks it.
You don't want mayonnaise in your water.
You know, that...
So...
So, like I was originally saying, do we want to fill up the keg or do something? Because, I mean, I'm sure we all appreciate that she motions to the alchemy jugs. But
I mean, they are a safety concern, so...
Yeah, but, like, are you gonna use those for him? And she points to Bastion.
I mean...
Hey? Oh god, he made it.
I mean, yeah, Bastion could probably use a fresh drink here and then. And then I'm pretty
We
sure
can let him have some from the pond for now.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, but as soon as we leave this place, it's all shitty water again.
This is true. I do have... I need to pick my spells for the day, but I do have the ability to create fresh food and water. I can create and destroy huge amounts of water and have rain and purify it, and I can do a lot. So I have some magical supplement for it. I can make some very bland food with the magics, or I can just, plop down a tent and we're fine.
I feel like
cook us something that, tastes like more than grits.
But yeah, I think, the water would be good. Just for all of us, so we don't have to... Because I feel like even drinking just a little bit of this shit is not good.
It's not good to drink the bad death water?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm inclined to agree with you. Do we want to do anything to bottle some of this, is what you're implying?
Yes, that is why I asked about the keg.
No, I do not feel it's necessary.
Okay.
I have magic to create it, and now we have 2 objects that can create roughly
about
4
16
gallons or so of water per person a day.
Yeah.
3 if you have, Bastion over there.
We can cover a lot of ground if we need with this.
Yeah. I think that's a really wise idea if it weren't for the fact that we were so specifically prepared for this.
I mean, you say that, and yet this is the first time you've brought up that magic, and we've been here a week and a half.
Where do you think I've been getting the clean water from?
Boiling it?
Bless you. The life of a soldier only knows turmoil and difficulty. I respect that though. No, I've been not messing with that. That water scares me. It reeks of a fettered soul. I've been using my alchemy jug to give us just pure created, just crisp water. I don't want to deal with anything that somebody's probably died and shited in.
Maybe both. Most likely both.
I mean,
almost
you
definitely
tend to
both.
shit yourself.
You do.
I does not really want to think about that, but okay.
Welcome to Death Jar.
I hate it.
I once saw this little lad get crushed by a boulder down in the mines when we were first putting up this reports. Sweet thing he was, but let's just say his jaw was bigger than his brow, which did not save him when the fucking boulder ploughed in his brow and out the backside of his head. We all gathered around to mourn him, but after about 30 seconds to a minute he let loose the fattest fucking one you've ever seen, and we had to evacuate that area. Not for the danger, but just for the smell. So, if you're going into battle, drop one first if you want to save your humility.
On that note...
And with that, let's maybe get...
Injury not, please. I'm gonna think about this all day.
So, on the road we go. You wanna get the old steam hammer rolling
Fully
over?
functional. I do, but first, I want to sample my brew.
We just turn to stone.
Water.
You kind of... Oh. Sorry, Gonky, you want to say something?
Gurka's got a point. He doesn't shit his pants. He just turns into a piece of shit himself.
Yeah, the shit remains inside the stone, so if you break it open, it's like a surprise.
no.
I mean, he literally skips like 1,000 years of natural process and just becomes stone.
So-
Completely fossilized.
Yeah.
He is the fossil fuel.
Fossil proof aside.
Fuel's anchor.
You calcify, essentially,
Tasted and continued.
into limestone.
So I'll pass out cold glasses to the folks. Is my alcohol still alcohol? It did not get
It is
McFuckied.
still alcohol. Yeah, there is no need to worry.
Even the more
Very good.
sullied dwarven booze, it is too strong.
too strong. You idiot, it's already a pure spirit.
It's more better than anything we found. What the hell?
Well,
Okay.
Arngrim will start filling up glasses and setting them to the side, one for everybody, including Severe. Right. We've come a long way. We've done great things. I've been talking, and I've been thinking, and I've been doing a bit of communing myself. I've got a lot of hope for this place, that tree. Last night I had a wee bit of a vision, and I think things will be alright. Can't get cocky. We have to be careful for that great dragon beast that lays off. There's something we can do here, and think we should do it right. And gods were the best ones to do it. Thank you for helping me get this far and on the way to the temple. So, to this, as he looks to the tree, and to that, as he looks off to the distance. To you. Cheers.
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 Yes.
To hope. And Severe raises glass.
Chug.
The friends.
To the future.
Already finished her drink.
Yep.
Yep.
That was like
Just
halfway
done
through
one.
his when people started doing it. It's
No,
like, oh, well.
I just drank, just sipped a little bit.
10 seconds.
That can mean food or alcohol.
So,
I don't
Both
know.
in dual meanings.
Ooh.
how many rounds are going? 2, 3?
No, that's not
I'm
really
only
to be
doing
honest.
one.
There you go.
Just
one.
the drink.
Yeah.
Ar-
I just had the
Arngrim
one under
might
this
have a second
driver.
one on him. It's that dwarven fortitude, you know.
God.
3 feels like 1, 2 feels like a shot, so he's okay.
Yeah.
Right,
So as you
let's
all,
pack up and roll out then.
alright. As you all down your drinks. Cheers to the future. You set off to look for the next span of your journey. You watch the green, the grove disappear into the fog behind you. Steel yourselves for the future.
Oh, look at you being fucking fancy.
Holy shit.
Motherfucker.
Look
So,
at
yeah.
the fucking. What's it called?
It's fuck.
Welcome to the
It's
new.
panning.
Welcome to the news travel screen.
I'm fucking driving.
This Algrim's inexplicably really excited to drive today. I'm driving!
And guess what? I can
I
also
mean, he is
pause
partially
it.
drunk, so.
I can also pause it, play it.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Alright, get your bird out.
Okay,
It
give me
might
a
need
second.
some fine tuning, but yeah, this is.
Really
it's
cool
pretty
stuff. I really appreciate the extra animation and effort.
Yeah, it really
This
makes
is
it
one
feel
of the
like
things
Red
that really
Dawn.
makes Banner's game stand out, you know?
Parallax. That's what I was thinking. The parallax.
Yeah,
Funny
parallax
enough,
scroll.
the module
Yeah.
that's used for this is also called Parallaxia.
I mean,
Hey,
that's what it's called. Yeah.
I need to open make the my familiar's wings open again. I forgot.
Oh,
I don't know how to fuck with.
Do you select it in battle sense?
I think you. I think it should be. Oh, I need to change it myself. Here we go. Again,
Oh, there we go.
Just assume its wings to open by
there you go.
What kind of bird wouldn't be flying?
White Raven.
Is it Agatha? Because you summon.
Aye, but for two
you summon
does it
Agatha.
gloves.
In the meantime.
Yes.
So what's Agatha doing?
Just flying. I would say about 40 feet above us. No,
Okay.
yeah, 30. Yeah, so
As high as they can get without obscuring us to fog. Because we don't know how far out this fog could be.
yeah, because I can't seem to.
Oh, hang on. Let me. So 40 feet.
At time is now.
Yeah.
There you go. Question. Did start late, so we made right.
We're probably going to go over because we did start late. Okay.
I'm fine with that. It's just my schedule's changed. Sometimes I remembered it being 2 o'clock.
Oh wow,
It
this
was
is
such a perfect moment.
Never mind.
Okay. So, as Agatha flies above, scouting out the solid terrain of the steppes of the Garen's Ridge Mountains makes for a mostly smooth journey. You occasionally have to weave your way through dense patches of trees and thick clusters of roots. Thanks to the bladed bone edge of a slayer's blade, they don't hold you back for too long. One thing you do notice every now and then is the occasional large ruins of some enormous stone edifice or a tremendous carved stone face broken in half, partly sunk. What may have once been a gargantuan tall stone pillar, many feet high, is now collapsed into the waters. Its diameter nearly 20 feet. Trees have grown out of it in places, tiny by comparison. Arngrim, go ahead and make a history check, just kind of observing these.
And if I recall, stone cunning gives me double proficiency on this.
Yes, you can indeed use your stone cutting.
I wish I had an additional skill that I could do just for stone cutting.
I think I can actually give that to you. So just roll as normal and just add your proficiency on top of that. So +4, so 14.
And you get +4.
+4, 18.
18. Okay, odd. Thank you kindly.
That is just enough.
I'm gonna have to use it, so
Yeah.
This is why I love hanging out with Sam.
Yeah. Whoever built these structures must have been either very skilled or very tall, or both. Occasionally,
It's giants.
perhaps. Occasionally, every so often, near one of these ruins, you'll see looks like a small hole in the ground, a pile of earth nearby. You're the first to notice this, Salian. Some have naturally filled in with stagnant water.
Are you seeing this? And she sort of realizes where he is.
In the ground.
Yeah, these small.
As you see him sort of peeking up around the little driving vision port, trying to see a better look.
So I will describe what she's seeing in as much detail as she can manage, since she has the better view of the two. So he actually knows what to look for. Granted,
This is quite strange. With my stone cunning, what it seem like that is?
This is not stone. It seems to be, best you can tell, small holes in the ground, pile of earth nearby. Someone's been digging. Specifically near the ruins. And kind of continuing on with your 18 history check here. These ruins are far older than any you've come across so far. The closest thing it reminds you of, probably the stone cairn where you fought those elementals. You can see, in particular, one ruin stands out to you. What looks like a large, 40-foot tall, fractured half of a face, partly buried in the earth. About 50 feet away from you.
Tall, fractured segment of her face.
Yes, it has a long, thin, stylized shape. It is. It has this tall, proud forehead, a large brow, proportionally smaller eyes. Almost looks like Stone Maori face, like from Easter Island almost. You can see as you approach what looks like large, very obvious gouges in the stone. 3 of them in parallel. They are enormous. And inscribed upon portions of the stone, not covered by filth, grime, ash, decay, and not ruined by the gashes, are large runes.
Do I recognize these runes?
Yes.
Being dwarven, giant, or halfling?
These are indeed giant. You might have to stop in order to take a closer look.
Well, I mean, we do have a bird.
He's gonna call out to everybody. Hey, there's a strange structure over there. Sayun, do you see those 3 marks? That doesn't look like erosion. To you, does that... Do you think... Get Liska's take on that.
What do my orcish magnification eyes see?
Yes, you pretty much see the same thing. 3 large gouges in the stone. 3 of them in parallel, kind of scoring down the face.
Yeah,
I really think we should have Liska investigate that.
those do not
I suddenly
look
feel very
natural.
concerned about going in this direction.
Sao sort of turns around to Liska and then just calls out, "Wait, we spotted something over there," and she gestures in the direction. It does not look like it is naturally made. Might be worth a quick look.
I guess let's stop for a second. Liska's gonna motion for Vellum. She's gonna call out, it's like, okay, everybody, let's stop.
So how far off is this road?
It's about 50 feet off the side of the road. Very close.
Right.
That's not
If it's
that
just-
far.
If it's a quick look, right, let's go. You head on over and take a look. The rest of us will keep a lookout. And Deja, do you think you can send your bird with just for an extra set of eyes in case something happens?
Liska's gonna ask.
Yes, I can. I
Sal.
can.
Yeah, Liska's gonna ask Sal what exactly. What exactly did.
Sao will describe what she saw as the large stone with the 3 gouges in it. Mostly because mostly because the large cuts in it do not look like natural erosion, and that they are in parallel. And if there's one thing nature likes to do, it's to throw a wrench in the gears for something like this, and they don't do parallels. Not in this way, anyway.
Basically, it could be a monster that we should think about. Could be a head.
It could be a dragon.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it's probably a dragon if it's able to cut into stone like that. But okay, just give me a second. And she's gonna head off in that direction. Yeah.
All right.
My Agatha's gonna fall behind.
I'm gonna pop on one of the turrets that are facing her direction and just ready if something pops out to attack her, basically.
All right.
Any spookies from the bog to blast at it the moment he sees it, hopefully before it gets a hold of her.
All right.
And
Right, it's about everyone.
yep, and my senses are gonna be with through the bird
Okay.
at the moment.
Yeah.
Where's Dejar?
Bellum's gonna in the immediate surrounding because everyone's got their eyes on Liska, including Bird. But good to keep eyes on everything else.
I'm on the wagon with
Okay,
basically.
so you are protected.
Yep.
Right. So Liska, you head over to this large, sort of half-sunk stone face or head. in the kind of slightly sunk into the boggy marshes, kind of cleaved in two from wear and tear, probably fractured over the ages, and you notice 3 large gouges in the stone. Again, in parallel. Make a... This would be a nature check.
Alright, intelligence. Nope.
You see stone.
It's-
I mean, I see
it
stone.
looks-
I see 3 marks, but probably nothing that would indicate like what it is.
Yeah, it's 3 large gouges in the stone. They don't look... Best you could have, probably not recent. Been there for a while. That's about it.
Can I make a survival check to check for that sort of thing? Because I can't tell. Like, the nature check was to tell what might have made it, but survival, I should be able to figure out like time, like if it was.
Yeah, it's like tracking
look
a
around to see if
creature.
there's any other clues.
Yeah, go ahead and make a survival check.
Okay, hopefully this would be better.
18.
Hey,
What's the advantage from? Is that from your resolve?
oh, I guess so. Let me check. yes.
All right.
Wait, no. Dex, curious, wisdom. This survival. Oh, survival's wisdom. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's what it's
All right, okay, perfect. So you yeah, whatever left these marks a while ago. Probably when this stone was being formed, or maybe around that time. Probably from the little basics that you know of history, probably thousands of years ago.
Wow. Okay. Cool. There's at least one final thing for
Yes.
that I don't necessarily think we need to roll for, but given the depth and the width of the gouges, of like the gouges themselves, and the separation between the parallel gouges, like, can like Liska fit her finger into the gouge?
Yes.
Are they that big?
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever made these gouges was probably a gargantuan-sized creature.
All right, awesome. Okay, yeah, Liska's going to keep that in mind.
And actually, with your 18 survivor, you would also notice.
And then she's gonna.
Oh.
What's up?
As you're kind of looking around for other clues with your 18 survival check, kind of looking around the back of the head, you also see, looks like kind of tracking the footprints. Looks like faucets. Bipedal footprints in the ground. All of them appear to have 3-toed claws. And a pair of long, thin, parallel tracks. And you kind of follow them around. You see a 10-foot deep hole around the back of the ruined head. You can see fresh earth in the pile, and within the hole, you can see where something large and almost cuboid in shape has been removed.
All right then. Yeah, Liska's gonna head on back to the. Well, with the survival check, how, like you said, freshly turned Earth?
Yes, freshly turned earth.
Okay.
Probably within the past day or so.
Alright. Liska's gonna head on back. Alright. So, couldn't necessarily say what made the gouge, but it was fucking huge. Like gargantuan. Probably larger than Crothus. But it's thousands of years old, so I do not know if it's necessary. Like, something that big was around here at one point in time. I do not know if it still is. Quite possibly the dragon. They tend to live a while. Also, oddly enough, on the backside of the head, it looked like there was a freshly dug hole and something was taken. But yeah, it's we are not alone, I should say. Did the... You said feet with 3 claws.
Yes.
Are they the size of kobold feet or size of dragon jerky feet?
Probably similar to the size of Mr. Dragon Jerky over there.
Okay.
I love the fact that we just nicknamed him Jerky.
He did dragon jerky.
And so the individuals are probably...
There was a series of holes filled with water. Maybe they finally found what they were looking for. As he points over at the other dug holes.
Those holes about the same size, Jimmy?
They are about the same size, yes.
Possibly.
They've got that many here. You think they've got a camp nearby?
I don't know. It could have been... I don't know how fresh those holes are. They could have just been digging one a day. It might just... I only saw about tracks for 3, maybe 4.
So we know we're not alone at the very least. Do we feel like actually trying to, you know, find these things? Because it might be cool to discover whatever the hell jerky is. And, not, you know, at least know what other thing is out here in the bog. So I don't think that's something a mindless corpse would do.
I would also like to make another point, if I may. I would rather we find them before they find us.
Prove.
For now, I think it might be best we keep going. We have got no real direction to look in, so it'd just be blind guessing until we find someone else.
And I can probably, like, they dug that hole, like, within the last day. I can probably track them from, like, where they went from there. But we will likely have to leave. Well, I don't know if we'll have to leave. Like, we might have to leave the steam hammer and the carts behind, though. I don't know. Like, it's off the beaten path.
Yes, Janner. Alright, well, how about you show me over there to it, and show me sort of the path, and I'll see if we can get through with the steam hammer. And while I'm at it, do you think it's safe for me to go over and figure out what those runes are?
Yeah. There was nothing that I saw that was around, so like I said, the last visible tracks were about a day old.
Alright, fantastic. Well, I'm gonna go take a gander at those runes, and sort of assess if I can squeeze the hammer through.
Alright. So as you hop out the steam hammer for a moment and kind of make your way over, you kind of read the runes here. They're sort of scrawled and almost chiseled onto the side. They look ancient. They've been here for thousands of years. As you kind of read it.
Before I begin reading them aloud, I want to skim them real quick and make sure it's not some like verbal component for something.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you know, what happened the last time we got involved with the runes and like ancient
I'll
Akeshi giant thing.
I'll have it. I'll say it in giant for you, because only you can read it.
Okay. This is absolute pog.
Quite la pogger.
Hey. Oh, this is a grave bit of note. Well, it seems that doubters and dissidents have existed in empires since before they were even formed. If I'm reading this right, it seems to be that this is some kind of poetic, whimsical, and almost morose sort of writing about, my guess here is a giant talking about the Akteshi Empire, and the clues and whatnot of the context seems like they're part of it, and their doubts of it. Most importantly, as he kind of reaches up, trying to reach the three grooves, how it was the gem-scaled dragons that did them in, and that they were fools for going against them and provoking their wrath. Saying maybe even we were right to rebel, as he's a little bit, you know, saying that as the shoulders kind of go.
Right, hang on, let me, I think I might have, sorry, I think I missed something out there, my bad. Here we go. Give me a second. There we go.
Just move a bit of mud.
Sorry, missed that bit of text there.
I see. It speaks of colours. Sort of like how we fought that green on Mafor. And you mentioned your stories of, I think it was white. It says something along the lines of the chromatics and lists a few. But they're not the dragons that you fought. I think these are something far bigger from the tone.
They was in that book we was looking at. One I read. I think that they were the ones that were at odds and all that business. Probably lines up with that.
Aye. Well, I think that's the situation it is here. It's a sad piece of a clearly educated and skilled person who's lost faith in their institution, their empire, and just how things are. I think it would be wise to take a lesson from this and heed our hubris. Not get too caught up in our grandity and go challenging dragons only to be squashed down like the giants of old. That said, as he kind of glances over to Severe, if one comes at us, we're gonna give him a right what for, don't you say, lads?
But we are. He kind of cocks the large turret that he's got him pretty familiar with over these past few days. The
Hell yeah. Well, if that's the case, where is this stone actually? Is it not on the map?
It's not on the map.
Is it just traveling?
It's just
That's fine. That's fine.
Theatre of the mind.
Theatre of the mind. Fantastic. Okay. Does it seem as if I will be able to get the steam hammer along this path?
It seems so, yes. You may be able to have to sort of divert across the road a bit. But it's generally in the direction you're going. It's like a sort of Y-shaped path. You might have to go off the road a bit. Certainly capable,
All right.
though.
As long as it's something that I'm capable of, I'm gonna have. I'm still going through and preparing the spells, but I'm gonna have Destroy Water prepared. So if we come up too boggy of an area, I can try and lower some of the water to get through.
Yeah. It's
I think I can get through, Liska. If Severe guides us, we should be all right.
No,
We'll be able to catch you.
Just to the left there, just a bit. As he kind of guides you across the threshold, you continue ahead.
Yep. He gets it set up there, ready to go forward. Seeing that there's a clear path he can take, turns to the others. We got two options right now. Like Sal said, find them before they find us, or trundle along towards the temple and hope everything's okay. But if they're digging up something here, and last time there was some Akteshi thing, there was powerful artifacts to be left, with tablet, we might want to find it. Because they might find us in that temple itself.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean, I feel like anything would be in the temple if it was that important, but it was buried in a gravesite last time. Liska, how you can get a good grasp of the trail, right?
Yeah, shouldn't be that hard.
Right, well, we'll commit a bit of time to this, but if it goes past a day or so, then we got nothing. It might be worth heading for the temple. We don't want to be drifting too off course, getting lost in this shithole.
So, as you continue ahead off the beaten path a little bit, with a combination of Liska and Severe's efforts to keep you on the more sturdy road this time.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Bird is in sky.
Yes.
How far forward and back and around can it? Like, how far out can the bird see? And how high can it go before the mists and whatnot start clouding its vision?
Maybe about 150 feet before you start losing sight of the steam hammer and the convoy in general.
Yeah, basically, just the limit is 100 feet.
Yeah, you can get above the clouds. Sorry, above the trees rather.
Okay, and how far out?
About.
Because ideally, in an ideal world, bird is early warning system.
Yeah, about 500 feet out.
Oh, I thought there would be things stopping it. All right, I'll take it.
It's a relatively clear day for now. So you,
I just wanted to clarify that before going forward, because Dejar's eyes are basically in bird. And bird has bird's eye view.
Continue on the sturdier path with no marshlands or mud to slow you. This is actually the first time you've been able to keep a faster pace here in Morbog. And you're essentially doubling your normal speed.
Hooray.
You eventually, so you notice you pass a large stone casket-like object caked in dirt and mud.
I am definitely pointing that out.
Its lid has been slid off, and it's just been left by the wayside.
Guys, you remember the giant coffin thing we found? And Sal just points.
I fucking called it.
Right. How far off is it?
It's coming up upon your right side, right nearby, about 50,
okay, so not
feet
too
off.
far out of the way.
No. You're just about to pass it.
Is there anything inside?
You kind of take a glance at it as you pass by it. It appears to be empty.
Like completely empty? No skeletons or anything?
completely empty. It is not.
Oh, that's a concern.
It's not coffin shaped. It's the size of a large large chest. And Liska, as you pass it, it looks relatively similar in size to the cuboid shaped hole you discovered. And you notice the tracks are continuing in this direction. Seems to be a few meanderings about with the clawed footfalls, and then they continue on. And that sort of gathering of meandering footsteps seems to trail around that stone box.
Right, so whatever was in there is gone. Any idea of what took it and where it went? Looking towards this.
So Liska had a general sense of the number of individuals that dug that shit up. Does the number of tracks increase, like beyond, or like does a new set of tracks appear?
From what you can see, no. Still the same 4 entities.
Can she give a look over to see, like, does it look like this thing was, like the lid was attached, or was it just like a sarcophagus where it was weighted down and then they slid it off, or was it like pry barred open?
It's fairly obvious to see. It seems as though it may have been closed previously, and probably during this short sort of meandering about, it looks like they stopped here for a moment to pry off the lid and retrieve whatever was inside before carrying on. You can see the 2 long parallel tracks continuing on afterwards.
Do those parallel tracks look like cart wheels or something?
They do.
All right. At least they give a good direction where they went.
Can I ask a question as a player for my mental understanding of this?
Yes.
Just because I'm a little confused, sorry. Were those tracks present, what we're now believing to be cartwheel tracks, were they present before during the initial survival scouting, finding the tracks? Or does it seem like this thing was brought to the cart off of the path?
They were there.
They were there. Yeah.
Okay. This is where they probably, just carry the body on the cart now. This shit's too heavy.
Probably.
Now,
okay.
Again, this
I understand now.
This thing.
Thank you.
This thing doesn't look like a sarcophagus or a coffin, anything similar. It looks like it might be a large stone chest.
Like a big lockbox made of stone.
Oh, maybe that's where the tablet was. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, whatever was in, like, they brought this thing, got it far enough away, tossed it after they opened it, and took what was inside, and they kept going. So, I mean, we happen to be making some good time, so we might be able to go and, like,
Catch up.
yeah. Well, at least we'll probably get there where they're headed soon. Because in this place, I doubt you want to go more than a day's travel away from your base.
Right, we should get moving then.
All right. We'll continue ahead.
Alright. And now that we're not in the bog, I can kick this baby up onto second gear.
Indeed. As you kick it up in a
Make it
second.
pan faster.
Yeah. I can't sadly.
Put it into maximum overdrive.
So this is the first time you've actually used your normal travelling speed here in the Morbog, and you're able to go by say for the map term is about 2 hexes in the day. And later on, as you're continuing your travels, Sayun, you can see coming up upon you. Actually, no. This will be make a perception check for Agatha. Actually,
Bird power.
Am I gonna make a
D10?
check as well?
yeah, you can make a check as well. You're all kind of keeping an eye out. Would be the
Bird early warning system.
one of the first
Early
members.
It was Alt for advantage.
Yes, Alt for advantage.
Quick rules question, by the way.
Yes.
When you're looking through the senses of a familiar, do you use your perception or the bird's perception?
Bird's
So,
perception.
Familiars.
Okay.
So
And
unfortunately,
you use all of its abilities if it has dark vision or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Agatha unfortunately isn't able to see much beyond the thick canopy of trees right now. However, Sayun, you being a perceptive individual and closer to the ground, off in the distance you can see a stone structure that's slightly smaller than the others you've passed so far. This is it's nothing more than some sort of skeleton of of something that may have once been more impressive. You also hear the movement and slicing of earth as if someone is digging. You also actually, what languages do you speak? You hear chatter that you don't quite understand.
Shame she's the only one that seemed to hear it.
I am gonna make a note of it.
You go to stop or continue on.
I'm definitely gonna make a note of it, and then people can make a better educated guess, since I can't understand shit, apparently.
If we try and perk our ears in that direction, can we make anything out, or is it just because of Sal's unique perception?
Oh,
So-
we don't know about it yet.
Well,
didn't
it's
say
been pointed
anything.
out, apparently.
Sayun hasn't said anything.
Are you making a note of it, or are you making us aware of it?
I'm
Yeah,
making you aware of it. That's what I mean when I say I make
okay,
a note of
okay.
it. As in, I make a note of it to the party.
All right.
I had a feeling, but yeah.
So as Sayun makes this first note, everyone else, feel free to go ahead and make a perception check if you want.
Power low.
Okay. I can't. I need to drop out the bird first.
Well, would you look at that?
I
Oh,
made
shit.
technically you've made yours already. Groggy doesn't.
I know. They should smoke up here.
He's too short.
Yeah, Gronka, you cannot see through the smoke, and you are far too short. Okay, so yeah, Liska, you're the next one to hear it as well.
She's gonna. With that 24, can we get like a distance to?
Maybe about 500 feet off.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So she's going to again just kind of motion for everybody to stop, since she's technically in the lead, following the tracks. And then she's going to, like, I guess, stick her head into the steam hammer and then use her earring for everybody else. Hey, there seems to be more digging up ahead near those big old ruins. I hear some language. It might very well be Jerky's language. I don't speak it.
That's what you hear, Vellum. Alright, I didn't mean to select you in doing that. That's not what Vellum says.
I mean, he starts speaking in tongues. No, hang about a sec. And then listen again. That's that dragon speak. Draconic, I think it's called. It's I know kobolds use it, so that gives some weight to that, but it sounds like one's telling the other keep digging, and wherever they are is full of artifacts. Right. They mentioned someone. Right, there's some nasty bitch that's gonna eat them if they don't deliver on something. Think of getting it right. It's Lady Mortithax.
What's the name of the black dragon?
Yeah, so chances are that's the kobolds who are following that dragon. You know, friend. Every dragon's got them.
Well, from the tracks, it seems like they're more him. She points to Jerky.
Maybe they speak the same language, but seemed a lot more panicked.
Dragony. I mean, I'd probably be panicked too if a dragon's going to eat me.
I guess for kobolds are naturally panicky, the ones we know, yeah. Bots.
So, it
But
looks
I don't
like
think they noticed we're here yet, so.
That's good. It looks like they're trying to find treasure and artifacts for monks, which makes sense. Dragons like to hoard it. But this, I mean, we can kind of go one of two ways. We now have information on that Mortithax is at least somewhere nearby. We have these gentlemen, and for I mean, if we have the temple, Second Ruin Temple, that is a very good place for a dragon to be, so we'll probably be heading there anyway. But do we wish to try to follow these guys back to where they'll likely be meeting Mortithax? Or do we want to kind of ambush them now? Like,
that's tough. If we ambush them, we can probably grill them for info and get whatever stuff they've managed to find. Maybe even whatever they got out of that box.
Quietly follow them. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I think our best bet is if we ambush them and have them lead us there.
Yeah.
You know, take them by force, but say, hey, we can protect you if you lead us the right way. Otherwise, you're gonna get eaten because you already failed and you've led somebody pretty much back to the den. You can either finish the job with us and we help you, or you don't, and we make you suffer and then she eats you. So there's no reason for us to oppose us, especially if we have to give them a smack or two.
Right, so we'll ambush them and try and get what info we can, get them to lead us to wherever the hell dragon is. Again, we're running into dragons a lot, but
didn't Dajar say something like his robes, and she points at Jerky, said like brood of Mortithax or something, like family? Like, will they be willing to turn?
well, depends. If they're kobolds, probably. If it's any of them lot, then they might be a bit stubborn. So,
Let's push them. I'm sorry, Angren. Probably can't use the seam hammer.
That's okay.
Okay. So,
I'm fine with a good brawl in the foot now and then.
alright. Can anybody, and she kind of looks around, can anybody guarantee stealthiness? Like magically.
Severe raises his hand.
Hey,
I have been trying to save it for the dragon in case it finds us or is about to find us, but I can spare a spell.
Well, you got anything to show?
You dropped out of familiar sentence. What?
Have anything that can help us be a bit sneakier coming up on this?
I don't have anything stealthy. Wait a minute. I do have greater invisibility, but I can only take someone else with me.
Better to save that for later then. Out of character, I forgot his name in our guide because I'm fucking
Severe.
Severe, that's what
Severe.
it was. Well, I guess we can go with what Severe has.
Sao sort of looks to Severe for a moment and is just sort of... The spell you want to spare, is that pass without trace by any chance?
No, just keep close to me and you should be fine.
Sao sort of holds up a hand, rummages through one of her satchel bags at her sides, and pulls out a spell scroll of Pass Without Trace. I have had this for quite a while.
Well,
So I intend to actually try and use it at one point, but I kind of forgot about it.
Right, saves us on resources then.
so
And she will toss that to Severe.
all right.
Can I actually send it to him?
I can't with NPCs now, but I can make one. Yep. There you go. I've just dragged
I
it.
could just click delete item.
Yeah, just delete item. I've dragged one from the compendium into his inventory. Okay. Severe kind of takes it from you as you kind of lean over the edge of the tank. He hops
I
out.
mean, she's gonna toss it to him anyway.
Right, well, just let me know when you want to go.
Tauzo looks to the rest of the party and sort of gives a nod.
Right, form up everyone.
Alright.
Gonna hop down, move on over.
So, I'm going to bring you over to the map as you kind of begin to sneak your way towards this structure. As you kind of approach, you can see what looks like a large wooden cart in front of these ruins, filled with two large chests, flanked by what looks like four skeletal figures, who seem to be standing guard, idly swaying slightly to and fro. Occasionally, a head will turn to examine its surroundings. They're on sentry duty. As you kind of scuttle up behind a number of trees, you see within the confines of the ruins, where is the... I had it here for a moment. I think it's fucking vanished. I know we're at time. I'm just going to give you like a brief look.
Good to have to play.
Okay, that's weird. It's disappeared. Hang on. It has to be one of these. like I'll just describe it. You see within the confines of the ruins a black draconic humanoid clad in ornate robes. Dragonborn, from what you've recently learned. You see motion within a number of ditches that have been recently dug here. Dirt is flung up and over the edges as the Black Dragonborn seems to bark orders, which you understand, Vellum, towards a nearby skeleton next to it. The skeleton is short, stocky, and emits a red light from its chest cavity from a rapidly spinning object. Its bones are carved within all manner of different symbols. And it wears black and gold rags. Wordlessly, it picks up from out of view what looks like a large gold urn covered in dirt and takes it over to a cart. Opens the lid of one of the chests and places it inside. And you hear the ting clinking of many coins. And it closes the lid. Come next session, we will see how this plays out.
Cool.
Boy.
Time for stealth checks in the future.
Let me get this straight. We actually finished a session on time.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Hooray.
Realm, Ayo.
Ain't that a fucking miracle?
Sure, I'm glad I'm composed. I get an advantage on stealth checks, and I get to choose where I am in the initiative, so I can say, fuck you to all them stupid click-clacky boys.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, Jan. Isn't there like every day that there's supposed to be like one of those wisdom checks?
You've not been prompted yet.
No.
Presumably,
That's what I was wondering.
Presumably, because
I think we're in a good spot.
yeah.
Yeah, we started out in Special Grove.
We weren't in
Yeah.
in a place of woe or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
I mean, I'm glad for that, because that would have sucked.
Would have indeed sucked. Right, anyway, I'm going to stop the recording in 3, 2, 1.